I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today. We are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes, but if you would like to get on the list for a personal reading, the list, as always, is open. As always, it is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps. Those are pregnancy and medical. We are also doing 2 giveaways today. Our first reading giveaway is going to be a free reading for the highest gifter between now and the conclusion of the daily collective read. Our other reading giveaway is going to be a reading giveaway when we get to 50K likes. So I wish you a lot of luck if you're participating in those giveaways. Prior to beginning today's daily collective read, I will be giving a brief recap on what we've been seeing in the cards over the last few days. If you would like to see those full readings, you can find them over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find them over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find them as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my stack. But first and foremost, before we get started on looking through the energy today, let me know how you are feeling. There are no wrong answers in this energy right now. One of the things that we're going to be talking about a bit is this is an incredibly, incredibly intense eclipse cycle. We're going through a very intense eclipse cycle in combination with the retrograde energy. The way I like to think about it a lot is that retrograde energy is more of that down energy, right? It can create more of that feeling of sinking, a lot of that energetic heaviness. This is often why we sometimes feel during the retrograde periods feelings of energetic stagnation in whatever planets or planetary objects are currently experiencing a retrograde. Now, one of the things I want to notate, and keep on saying this, we've got a profound amount of planets. All the planets and planetary bodies that are currently in Aries are retrograding. Now, this was happening before this eclipse cycle started. And now we've got the eclipse cycle that's entered, that's like the confluence that we're basically experiencing with the combination of the retrograde amplified by the eclipse, because I like to, like, my opinion on eclipses, the eclipses don't necessarily change energy. They just amplify the energy we're currently experiencing. It can create a lot of intense feelings. It can also create a lot of frustration as it relates to timing. Because one of the things we're also seeing in relationality to this eclipse process right now is that both Neptune and Saturn are retrograding. These are 2 planets that have a deep influence on our perception of time. I like to describe Neptune as kind of like our memory bank, our storage drive, where we keep all of the past memories. And Saturn is a lot about the work in terms of how we try to move forward through time. So what do we have? And one of the things we also see right now is that Saturn has been like going back and forth in and out of Pisces as a result of the repetition of retrograde energy that we've been experiencing. And now this is something that's been happening on and off again over the last few months, but it's going to feel very, very intensified during this period. I would not be surprised right now if there are separations that are occurring as it relates to relationship in the observation of an unhealthy cycle. And what's interesting about it is potentially even the breakthrough that energy has, that if you're in those spaces where you come in and out of relationship, that is not coming in and out of relationship. That is the relationship. That is the sum of the relationship, right? The ability to can't articulate a relationship is ended if there's a rejoinder point. And that's why I'm potentially seeing that, like, I would not be surprised if there's some relationships right now that are ending on not again, because it's the observation of working through something, right? The difference that we are able to hold upon something that feels like we are healing it, right? The ability to rectify something and being able to put a pathwork of progress towards it, something that is able to be energetically remediated versus something that feels like it's regressing back to the way it was previously. I would not be surprised if that's the shape of a lot of the work that we see as it relates to relationships that are coming to a point of closure during this cycle. It's not to say, because again, there's something we recognize about the quality of the cycles that are moving through this right now. There is some restoration that is potentially occurring and happening right now during these eclipses, during this retrograde eclipse confluence. What is potential restoration going to look like? The observation of the recognition that when we are too much in our egoic space, we bring too much emotionality to something that is marginal, right? The overabundance of emotionality to something that wasn't necessarily a big deal. That smoothing out that often happens as we energetically heal. So, working through those pathworks, there may be some energy right now that's coming into restoration, but not repetition. The observation of having that overabundance that allows one to be able to rectify it by being able to identify how one is working to do something in a better fashion. I also see that this is the culmination of a lot of those temperance relationships moving deeper into partnership at this time. These relationships are potentially building into, I want to get, there's a little bit of this space in terms of like coming into a deeper space of admission as it relates to their own emotional processes. Why are we potentially seeing this? You'll recall these were temperance relationships were coming together from about the time of the solstice period. I want to say up until the time that Uranus went retrograde prior to this eclipse cycle starting. And I like that because it's working through what is bringing these relationships deeper into partnership. These are relationships that have incredibly strong foundations, specifically and particularly because they came together during this very intense retrograde cycle. The perseverance that is energetically necessary to navigate through or work towards a manifestation goal often requires the space and being able to confront the past. And I would not, and that's why I said that these relationships that were coming together during that time were experiencing so much intensity, because at the same time that they were trying to come together and heal from something, there was potentially something from the past coming back towards them in a big way. But again, working through a lot of these same observations that we're speaking upon, the mutual effort that helps one identify and recognize direction sense. These are relationships that appreciate one another because they bring that sense of perseverance to the things they do. They bring that sense of energetic rigor, and even more so if these are energies that are potentially moving into divine union right now, having been wounded by someone that by energy in the past that potentially did not embody a manifestation goal. And what does a disembodied manifestation goal often appear as? Somebody who articulates that they're healing from something, but then when the past comes back, they just move back in the direction of the thing that they claim that they were healing from. So that space of, again, going through that mutual, like that's what we talk, this is the type of stuff we expect when we see Uranus in Gemini, right? Having to recognize the mutual work it takes to move forward often requires one to be confronting or working in opposition or working against the past in some fashion. The ability to articulate and build into the space of identifying what one is healing from. It's like I keep on seeing that this is the energy that is expressing a deeper sense of trust to one another and a deeper sense of relief, and potentially even articulating upon those doubts and fears that they were feeling, and almost coming into the space of helping to work deeper into the context of their own past history to help one understand and not build into the space of taking that personally, but taking it profoundly, because this is potentially a lot of energy articulating to one another that they've never met anyone like themselves in that way, right? It's like I keep on hearing, it's like the exceptional energy that takes one's breath away. This brings us to a lot of the energy that's deep within divine union right now. And for our purposes, because we see that we're in the midst of shift, we were talking a lot about those chariot partnerships. We're going to talk about the energy that I see is moving deeper into divine union right now. We can't, when we go through the cycles, we have to always reach a limitation point as to like the last cycle that ended in, or we'd be here all week. So we're seeing now that there's a lot of the magician relationships that are moving deeper into divine union. And what is happening that is creating the space of those relationships. And specifically, we're talking about the relationships that came together between the solstice period up until the time that Mercury and Venus stationed direct, up until the time that state Mercury and Venus stationed direct behind Neptune. So that was about March. So basically the solstice until March. For a lot of those relationships, building into authenticity, having a relationship where one does not set the potential on the individual in question, but rather on the relationship, feeling that sense of being welcomed in partnership that feels like an arrival. A lot of these relationships are potentially advancing timelines in very fast ways. We were seeing that a lot last month. And doing the work right now of clearing the air outside of partnership, being able to potentially have to work through some chirality lessons, which is the identity. And this is, we're going to have a lot of these chirality lessons coming up with Uranus in Gemini, right? The observation that sometimes something that looks very supportive for us and something that is not supportive, they can look similar, but they're vastly different, right? They're vastly different. Working through the context of nuance, this is potentially a lot of relationships having to do the work to dispel misconceptions on the similarity of something that they're doing in the present, potentially moving something with a lot of rapidness into a deeper sense of partnership. The difference between potentially something in the past where they did something similar, but it wasn't in a space of it was restorative, but feeling more like working through a context of devastation. This is potentially a lot of those relationships, defining the difference of feeling between trying to move something into a deeper sense of partnership because there's a sense of desperation to it, hoping to fix it, versus the joy that we move in terms of racing towards something because we feel that sense of accomplishment or we feel that sense of celebration. But for a lot of the energy right now, there may be a bit of that maturation that's occurring and doing that work to articulate and seeing if another person is ready to hear it, because they're working through the observation that often when we move deeper into union, it affects the energy around us. Because if the energy around us isn't moving through the same maturation cycles at the rate that we ourselves are, they can see us prioritizing or centering partnership and feeling like we're moving in the wrong direction. But this is why we see that if this is happening for a lot of those relationships, they're building a deeper, and this is why we call it a maturation process, they're building a deeper relationship with time, right? They're potentially talking to each other upon what they observe and understanding and identifying and hoping that time will do their part to help resolve those experiences, because obviously, like, as we continue to maturate and grow, we start to understand and recognize those heavier lessons. That is where we find all of the energy prior to beginning today's daily collective read. But let me know in the comments how this energy is impacting you personally. If you would like to find this full reading, you can find it over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find it over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find it as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my Substack. That said, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes. If you would like to get on the list for today, you'll be the second person read for. I will stress the list today is going to be very, very, very short. So if you would like to secure a spot on the list, I would strongly encourage you to do so sooner rather than later, as I mentioned, we will be keeping the list short today. Bridget, I believe you just said that you got on the list. Thank you for letting me know. I will add you to it, and you also have an additional card. Thank you for being the first person on the list today. If you are on the hold list from yesterday and would like to be added back to the list, please also notify me in the comments. I'm going to take a few minutes to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Welcome, Melissa. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us over on the place where we keep the videos. Melissa's saying hi to everyone who's in TT land. So welcome to everybody in TT land as well. I like that, TT land. How are you doing today, Haley? Cheryl, thank you for liking the live. Always appreciate, or I apologize, Shaylee. Thank you for liking the live. Always appreciate when you guys like the live. How are you doing today, Twin Flame? Alexandra, so good to see you. Thank you for those likes. Thank you for joining us, 555. Hi there, Tony and Wanderlust. Welcome, Nixis. How are you doing today, Alex? Welcome, Roxy. How are you doing, K Meg? Guys, please, I'm going to pin up K here. Make sure to give RPM K Meg some love and thank her for their help today. Energy feels intense again today. Is anyone else feeling it? I told you the thing we have to recognize with this particular eclipse cycle, I just want you to get used to it. It feels spiky and invasive. So we're going to have a lot of those moments where it's like going to feel like those intensifications and then the pulling back, the intensification and then pulling back. It's it's working through the context of the fact that we have so many of the planets. I want to describe the best way I can describe it. Okay, it's like it's tense energy because the eclipse wants to expand and the retrograde wants to plunge. So I want you to think about like it's like expansive, like grounding, expansive grounding. So I'm going to say as you feel the energetic spikes, I want you to work on centering through them. I want you to work on grounding through them. Okay. Thank you as well, Shaylee. Oop, hold on a minute. Grand Rising, Bridget. And thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. I got you on the list, dear. Thank you for notifying me that you got on it. This energy is reminding me of that. There's no such thing as too many lists. I told you it's a lot of it's just working on planning right now. And I got to tell you, list energy is good right now. Like building into the space of just getting things together. Like don't get overwhelmed. Like one thing, like just like work on things. Like just like it's a lot of. And I want to describe this, right? Like, and we were talking about this yesterday with the arrival. You'll recall we were speaking about this with the arrival of the Wheel of Fortune that we saw that was appearing in the meeting, right? Like when things go like this, we go like this, right? Like which is not letting ourselves be bothered by the spikes, but just working on like stabilizing via the grounding practices and grounding routines. How are you doing today, Shush? Shush. I'm struggling today. I'm sending you so much support, Bridget. And as I mentioned, if you're feeling that right now, make sure you're hydrating, make sure that you're centering, make sure that you're working towards like focusing. Like one of the things I posted on the disco is like grounding in your purpose. It'll help through a lot of like I keep on hearing like it's like a lot of this like it's like these little like flare up energies. Like that's kind of what we're going to have to expect or work through as we're going through an eclipse cycle that's as intense as the one that we're currently experiencing. Generally or energetically. And Cynthia, thank you for the follow. Hi there, remastering. I love these moments during your lives, such wisdom. Oh, thank you. I do my best, dear. And thank you for being here and receiving these messages. Hope you're doing well today. Hi, Grace. How are you doing, dear? So good to see you. Haley, good to see you as well, dear. You're so welcome, Bridget. Excellent. So lovely to see you. I'm telling you now, too, it's a lot of flashback energy. Like that, we can also expect that with a lot of like Neptune and Saturn being like, like in retrograde like this with Pisces being like, like, oh, that just reminded me of something. It's kind of like that. Hi there, Cynthia. How are you doing today? Welcome, Creative. Good to see you as well. And thank you, Shush. I like the smiley face. Alice, welcome. I feel like the limbo between the eclipses is more intense than the first eclipse. Well, and here's the thing, this is why I like to point this out. This is why we like to call it like an eclipse season. Because and you have to understand that and you'll probably recognize this like when I talk about the energy that we're experiencing. Like it's not like we experience a full moon and the full moon goes away. You know what I mean? The energy moves in and out. You know what I mean? Like there's windows. It's like we experience the full moon and then a few days later we're still working through like the energy of the full moon. And so the thing you have to understand with like the eclipse cycles is like the eclipse cycles don't energetically, they're not like on off switches, like eclipse, no eclipse, eclipse, no eclipse. We're navigating the season between like the energy in the eclipse cycle between eclipses can very much carry that same feeling of amplification within it that intensifies at the moment that we experience the eclipses, if that makes sense. And the thing about it is we entered the eclipse cycle with all of these energetic hurdles. That's why like my heart goes out to like the Virgo babies right now. This is not ideal energy. This is not ideal energy for my Virgo babies to be going through their season, okay? This energy is less than immaculate. The vibes are less than immaculate right now. And this is why we're going to continue to work through a lot, and especially with the intensity, with the extra force of the fact that Mercury is in Virgo, because Mercury in Virgo can often feel very exacting. You know what I mean? It's like precision with precision. It's like, so it's like a lot of that type of stuff. So, and that's what I keep on seeing. Like, we're gonna get, that's why we're, and I'm not surprised that we're getting messages that reminds us, listen, perfection is not found on a map. You don't go, oh, there's a perfection, right? Perfection is what we create with our hands. It's what we do with it. It's what we find and what we make with something that makes it energetically perfect. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, it's like it's frustrating, but it's fortifying. Hi there, V. Virgo sun here. The vibes are not it. You see, I know. The vibes are not it. The birthday month, boo. I know. I saw the energy going into this Virgo season, and I was like, oh no, oh no. Listen. I felt the same way. I felt the same way when we were going through Pisces season. Pisces season, we had all of these planets exiting the house of Pisces during Pisces season. I was like, oh no, no, this is not going to be good. But here's the thing, listen, and that's why I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to keep on saying, especially if you're a Virgo right now, don't be over internalizing. Okay? Do not be over and listen, I'm going to tell you right now, V stands for virgin, but it also stands for victim. So I don't want you getting all up in your mood. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Virgos? You know what I mean? Don't be pulling out the violin. Don't do it. Work through it. Don't do this. Work through it. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get through this energy together. We're all gonna hold hands, and we're gonna get out. We're gonna get through this energy together. I mean, cut the music. All right. As I mentioned, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read. Holly, thank you so much for getting on the list. If you are on the hold list and you want a reading today, please let me know sooner rather than later. My list is going to be very, very short today. And so if you want to have that reading, please get on sooner rather than later so I can make sure that I can try to honor your reading today. We do got this spiral. How are you, dear? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who attended our recent class on the Tower card. Our next class will be held on Thursday, not Wednesday, Thursday, September 18th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the star card. And all you need to do if you'd like to become a part of that tarot class program is mosey on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to Stack is your ticket of entry into my live classes each and every month. As a monthly subscriber, you will also have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I will be doing my best to give you an update on everything we've studied prior to beginning the next class. But if you wanted to catch up, now is a lovely time to catch up because you've got a little window of time between now and the next class to catch a couple of those classes. You'll also have a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned or studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my stack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, but you will also receive a complimentary. You'll also have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library class archive, which is access to over 17 hours worth of material in an ever expanding library. You will also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I tried to do with these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You'll also be notified as to my mystic meditation articles when they go out. I just wrote one recently on navigating this very intense full moon that we're coming out of and working through this eclipse retrograde confluence. And I'll also be releasing one shortly on the new moon we've got coming up, which again, it's going to be in Virgo. It's going to be fine. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also for my students that are my clients that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can be more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings. These can be purchased per dream or as a series. If you purchase this series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. That said, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes, but if you would like to get on the list for a personal reading, the list, as always, is open. The list is very short today, so if you want to make sure to secure your spot having a reading today, please do so sooner rather than later. It is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. Grand Rising, Denise. So good to see you today. Anybody joining us across the other apps as well, you can get on my list via my tree that has links in it in my bio. Hi there, Haley. Welcome. Hi there. Good. Busy day again. It's good to be busy, Grace. Welcome. Good to see you, dear. All right. One moment, just reading over the comments. Whoop. I feel like yep, absolutely. Oh my God. Yes. I was about to mention, I've been getting emotional flashbacks. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that we're going to expect with this eclipse cycle. Something that like you're right back there, like something that reminds you of something, you're right back there. Also, would not be surprised right now if you're having very karmic dreams. Just a reminder, if you want to get on a list for a dream interpretation reading, you can include that information in the notes when you send the donation, or you can post it in our subscriber only disco channel in the appropriate channels. Listening in while I do big things. I like that, Grace. Continue to do big things. And Haley, thank you as well. V, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Thank you for sharing the live. Yeah, I know, Virgo sun here. The vibes are not immaculate. I'm pulling out the violin. I guess maybe Virgos have permission. Like, again, a little bit of violin. Okay. There we go. We do have this spiral. So good to see you today. I'm amazing. Oh, I'm so glad today's been beautiful for you. Oh, so good to see you. I'm doing good. Things are well here, you know? Wednesday, I looked out the window dramatically asking, what is life? That is the vibe right now. You know, what is happening? It's a lot of that. You know, it's surreal. You know, I told you it's a cryptic eclipse. It's gonna be surreal. It's gonna be surreal. It's gonna get pretty dolly in here. The last full moon healed me instantly. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that level. Mentorship and tarot. Thank you so much for the help as well, Kay. Absolutely. And thank you guys for charging your heart niece, Denise. Thank you. Reminder, if you guys would like an animal spirit guide card on top of the one card readings, just go ahead and post that. Go ahead and get the heart me in, and you'll also be able to have that card. And Shush, thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate you guys share the live. I hear that. Sending love. Thank you. Right back at you. Shush, how do you reconcile the difference between 12 and 13-month calendar thing and the 999 portal? I mean, how do you reckon? I know you're talking. Are you talking about the article that just came out? I mean, this is what here's how I reconcile it. Do you want me to tell you how I reconcile it? And this is why I believe in cusps. Okay? Because I told you, and I feel like that's the thing you have to understand. Energy is not an on-off switch. And listen, I will predicate this by saying that I know that there are those that don't agree with me. I know I'm not an astrologer. I know that there are a lot of astrologers that'll like come at me with pitchforks for saying this. But I read the energy. I look to the astrology for clarification on what I'm seeing. And so the reason and even like I know this is why I often get in argumentations with those that are astrologers, because there's some astrologers that are like cusps don't exist, and I'm like, I will stop believing in a cusp when I stop seeing it. You know, the space by which I like to describe, I see energy that commingles, right? Energy commingles as it shifts. Think about a river. You ever seen the space where the Ohio River and the Green River meet? Go check it out sometimes. It's really cool. There's actually a part where you can just like see the line of color between the river. But when you think about energy from the space of not shifting, but more commingling, then it makes more sense that we move out of one thing and into another. So the fact that we have slippage that occurs in the fact that time experiences, it does make sense that we often have to like again like readjust the energetic clock, if you will, or simultaneously keeping in mind that perchance perhaps a 13-month cycle seems to be much more indicative of a way of doing something that allows the space of not needing to recalibrate all the time. But that's a conversation nobody wants to have. You know what I mean? Like that's like nobody wants to change something if it's already in place. So here we are, you know. So here we find ourselves. There's thank you for agreeing with me on that, Spiral. Collective through thoughts and addition. No, absolutely. And then again, this is my opinion. This is an open forum in relationality to our thoughts on the subject. Spiral said there's absolutely cusps. It's not hard stop from one to another. But yet at the same time be seen. Yeah, and listen, I will be the first one to know. I know there's some astrologers, and when I say that, they want to slap my hand. You know, like, but that's okay. I like to point out that we need that the space by which we don't need to always agree is the space by which we can talk about it and understand our own insights over upon it. You know, I always stress this. I look to astrology for reference on what I'm seeing energetically. That's why I don't give astrology readings. That's why I often look to you guys. Sometimes you'll see me. I'm like looking something energetically. I go, what the heck is happening? I'm like, I need to go reference this disturbance in the force. I'll be right back. You know, like, I'll go, oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, there's the correlation. You know, and so I feel like again, there's more to be learned when we combine forces than instead like, you know, like I like let's combine forces instead of raising pitchforks, which is the space by which we hear each other out and we go, that's interesting, instead of saying, you know what I mean? Very important point these days. Absolutely. Thank you, Shush. Speaking of cusps, you read the first part of Spiral's comment. Oh, and the last part of Yaz's. Oh, that's wild. Did I do that? Well, there you go. Hold on. I'm going to go back and it worked very well. And it worked very well in harmony with what I was saying. Hold on. There's absolutely cusps. It's not a hard stop from one to another. Yeah, it's harder, but really, absolutely. And then Yaz said, yeah, anybody else here have this desire to curl up in a cocoon and hide, yet at the same time be seen? No, and I mean, again, that's a lot of the Virgo energy. And I want to stress, one of the things I've been reading for Yaz right now is I've been pulling the Hermit card like hotcakes. And I gotta stress that the funny thing with me and the Hermit card is the Hermit card does not come out a lot in my readings, right? It doesn't come out. And I keep on, and that's what I meant. Like, remember I said that this energy is like an intern, like the desire to over internalize in it feels very, very strong because it feels like, and I keep on, that's why I keep on saying don't assume things right now in this energy, because it's a combination of feeling energetically triggered with the fact that Chiron's in retrograde, and then something coincidental happening and feeling like it's really directed to the self. That that's why I keep on saying please do not go through this eclipse cycle assuming things. Give things the benefit of the doubt, understand, navigate situations with compassion. There's more potentially happening, right? So that's why we don't want to over internalize on things. And we're gonna keep on talking about it. And it's been coming up a lot in the readings. Oh, thank you for also agreeing, Melissa. Yes, Lowell, Grand Rising Deep, good to see you. Cool. Thanks, Josh. Pisces, the Hermit and the Tower and the Strength card is what I keep getting in mine. No, they've been coming out a lot in mine too. And I don't mind seeing those cards in combination, right? Because a Hermit, I need to point out, a Tower and a Hermit in combination is a little bit of like, oh, I see what's happening here. Like, I told you, it's a lot of that, like, observe, don't absorb. It's like, that's interesting. It's like that. I'm hermiting for my B-day. Hold on a minute. There's definitely a Hermit card energy lately. But here's the thing, it's your B-day. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like you do, you give yourself what you need in that energy. And like, I want to say positive, like I want to point out, like, look, positive, and we talk about this, like the beatific of a hermit, planning, right? Getting your ducks in a row, right? Like working through, like going, like being energetically productive on something. What you want to avoid is like kind of you want to avoid having a case of the grumbles is what it's like describe it as. Like that's what you want to energetically avoid here, because I keep on seeing that, like, this energy right now, that's what I mean, is like, working through something energetically productively that allows, I keep on hearing, like, allows, like, some kind of expand, like something to, like, allowing something to take, like allowing something to like plant, like I keep on hearing like working through planting seeds, like working through the space of being energetically productive through what may feel like something that feels slow. Like it's that type of energy. Oh my God, I do have a case of the grumbles, and I'm rarely ever in that energy. But that's the thing. That's what the thing about this energy is. It really is. It's irritating. It's irritable energy. We're all going through it. We give compassion towards it. Hermit is absolutely not negative. But I like to point out, and I do this when I'm teaching on the cards, Pisces. I always talk about the aspiration and the devastation of the card, right? Every card has its beautified space, and it also has its space and detriment. It has a lot to do with looking at the context of the card and what one needs to bring to a circumstance or situation, if that makes sense. All right, my friends, as I mentioned, we are going to get started on today's daily collective. I'm going to be on much shorter time than normal today. I've got 2 people on the list right now. If you'd like to claim a spot on the list, I would strongly encourage you to do so sooner rather than later. I am probably closing the list today at 5 people, not at 5 p.m. Also, if you are on my hold list and would like to have your reading today off the hold list, please let me know. Please post in the comments and I will add you back to the list today. We're also doing 2 giveaways right now. The first giveaway is going to be a reading giveaway when we get to 50K likes. My friends, we're already at 8.9K, so make sure you're tapping that screen. We will get to 50K in no time and we'll do that giveaway. The other giveaway we're doing right now is a reading giveaway for the highest gifter between now and the conclusion of the daily collective read. So I wish you a lot of luck if you are participating in that as well. Currently, Denise, you are the highest gifter at the moment. Thank you so much. All right. That said, we are going to get started on today's collective. But before we do so, why don't we warm up those intuition muscles with a little bit of an intuition check? I've got our animal spirit guide cards here. I pulled one. I'm going to count back from 10. Go ahead and put your impressions in the comments. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody picked wolf. It was the hind. All right, we'll do that again after our collective. That said, if you guys could do me a favor and share this live, I would appreciate it. Make sure anyone who'd like to catch this reading live is here to receive it. Did you get the hind? Did you pick the hind, Bridget? Oh, I just saw yay. Okay. That said, no better time than the present. Why don't we get started? Hold on a moment. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Friday, September 12th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Well, they came out fast. I didn't even have a chance to finish what I was saying. Okay. We have here our Page of Swords in its upright, in combination with our Knight of Swords in its reversal. Let's talk a little bit about the inner child healing that this retrograde, that this confluence, this cryptic eclipse, this confluence of retrograde and eclipse energy is bringing to bear. Now, let's talk like the thing, and I want to define, and I want to describe this. Inner child healing does not mean going back to the time that you're 6. Okay. Inner child healing is working into the context of healing from something in the space by which you are not holding the same energetic standards as one does today. That is what inner child healing is. There's this misconception that inner child healing requires us to go all the way back to the child. The space by which we understand inner child healing is the space by which we are energetically protective and honoring ourselves. Often, and this is what I keep on seeing that's happening right now with this eclipse cycle, there's something really important to be navigated and articulated in the context of change as well, because the space by which we change, how we change is how we energetically honor our journey. We're supposed to change, right? Like that is change is energetically transformative. And and I like to describe that the definition between change, and we're gonna see a lot of this right now in the space of and this is what we kind of, and like we're going to talk a lot about this type of stuff because it's like working through nuance when we're going through Uranus in Gemini during a retrograde, which is the change that occurs via the fortification of the standards of the self versus the standards, the change that is too adaptable, where one is not able to maintain or hold one's own energetic standards. Now, this is often difficult work, right? Because it's a conversation that says, how does one transform while also honoring standards? By being able to recognize and identify the shape of the self, right? It's the space by which we understand and recognize ourselves that allows us to hold energetic standards towards things. And when we have, and this is why often we're able to do the work in healing from rejection, because when you know yourself, rejection doesn't bother you as much, right? Only like, again, if you're experiencing something that is an energetic rejection point in relationality to something that one could be doing better, then it's always the context by which one is able to adapt, right? It is effectively a process of growth, if you will. It's a process of being able to energetically learn. It's also the space by which we understand and recognize and work through something to a certain extent, and we allow the objectivity that helps us build into the space of feeling fortified in relationality to our own sense of self. And this is why the reason I'm bringing this up is because I feel like there's a lot of work that's happening right now in the context of the energy in separation, working to dispel misconceptions. And why do we see that a lot of that energy in separation is working to dispel misconceptions? Because the space by which we know ourselves. And remember when I said that for some of these relationships, like I see that there's some energy in separation that has, and we were talking about this yesterday, they're embracing their standards, right? They're in separation and they're recognizing their standards. They're identifying them, they're holding them with more of a sense of energetic strength. And I almost feel like the energy, like this is like, I mean, like this is the reclamation of the self that often has in identifying our standards. This is often when the inner child healing starts, right? Because, and this is what we mean in terms of understanding what it is that we're working to reconcile versus what it is that we're working to heal from, is the identification of holding our standards and either seeing those experiences or modalities where another person was trying to draw us towards them via the act of having to surrender them, in which case we work on forgiving ourselves, right? For forgetting ourselves in those moments, or those modalities or experiences that allow the context of understanding that healthy partnership never requires us to surrender our standards. In fact, they hold them for us. And this is why, remember when I said I see two different modalities in separation right now during this retrograde eclipse. This is either, I will tell you, I see some marginal work that's happening right now in relationality to resolution or healing. The context by which I see that healing is occurring are in spaces or places where, and this might even be healing from things that happened during another eclipse cycle, because what I'm identifying here feels very eclipsy. What we often identify as something that would happen during an eclipse cycle? Bringing an overabundance of emotionality to something that was not necessarily all that important. The overabundance of emotionality that is something that is very energetically marginal when we understand, right? And that's why we said that those are relationships that are potentially healing via the accountability, because that's the space of one identifying oneself and potentially even coming into the space of articulating. Like I keep on hearing, like the space by which one asks for forgiveness when it feels like that was too, like that was the intensification. What time, and that is a conversation on the fact that time helps us heal that, because time gives us the gift of perspective. Now, for a lot of the energy right now, a majority of the energy, though, in separation that I'm seeing, if these were circumstances or situations, and this is what we were talking about the difference between what time and intent cannot heal. Time in the space of giving us distance. This is often why when we feel very emotional for the fact that we have to hold standards on something, we often feel angry at ourselves, right? We often like beat ourselves up. We get mad at ourselves, going like, why did I have to feel so like emotional about something? Time says, come with me, I want to show you something, right? And so that ability of time giving us perspective, being able to move something from something with perspective, what does time show us? Helps us remember our standards. And when we remember our standards, then often in moments that we're beating ourselves up because we are emotional, we feel energetically reaffirmed, right? The comprehension, like the gift of time is the perspective that allows for comprehension, that is either the comprehension and being able to articulate to another what one could better, or being able to feel very, very validated in relationality to why one is feeling. And that's why I kept on saying yesterday that remember when I said that there's a little bit of this energy and separation going through rude awakening cycles. And why are we calling them rude awakening cycles? Because it's discourteous to see someone holding an energetic standard and find and feel they to be emotional, because one is never emotional when one is energetically defending something. It is the emotions that rise up because someone is protecting something that is important. And so that's why I keep on seeing, like, this is why I see the Page of Swords and Knight of Swords in its reversal, because this is a lot of the energy. I see that there's potentially some energy right now in separation, going through the experience of someone coming back and going, are you done being emotional? And someone says, I was never being emotional. In fact, I prepared a lecture. I prepared a lecture. I mean, would you like to see my lecture on why I was not emotional, right? Because it's the comprehension of the self, the ability to identify and articulate upon emotions is what fortifies the difference between being compassionate, which is the space by which we can communicate on our passions, versus being dispassionate. And what's interesting about dispassion and compassion is they can look very similar from the outside. Now, what is the difference between dispassion and compassion? Dispassion is being led by the emotions, right? It's just doing, it's like letting the emotions just wherever you want to go, right? Letting the emotions go nuts, and then trying to articulate reasons why later, right? When we're led by our emotions, those are not fortified emotions, because we can feel emotions. Like, you can have emotions for eating a bad sandwich. Like emotions, having emotions, we do not honor all of our emotions. It's we test the stability of our emotions through internal contemplation with the self, which is why we talk about compassion isn't niceness. Compassion is communicating on passion, being able to talk about why something is important. So that's why, and so again, if there were relationships, this is what I meant about some relationships coming into separation via the different standards, because often we can understand and recognize we have different standards when someone sees us being compassionate and assumes we're being dispassionate, right? So that's why I keep on seeing that if these are modalities or moments where someone was carrying trauma around something, articulating and feeling emotions for something, another person goes away, right? Then doing the work on healing, understanding why they felt the way they did, being able to build words towards it, working to identify and recognize more. That's why I keep on seeing the energy of someone potentially coming back saying, are you done being emotional? And someone says, I prepared a lecture, which is the space by which it was saying it was never emotion. Those were the emotions that were rising up because there was something important. It's not emotions if it's a conversation. Continuing to get clarification. This is what I mean about these relationships that are coming together right now, because we do see an energetic shift that's happening right now in partnership. I'm getting some strong indications these are going to be moon partnerships. And the reason I keep on seeing that these are going to be moon partnerships right now is, and it has to do, I keep on saying it has to do with the confluence of the fact that we're going through the retrograde at the same time as the eclipse, which is the understanding and recognition point that healing is an act of comprehension, right? Healing is indulgent when we do not understand when we do not understand the process of our healing cycle. When we're able to put energetic words to things, we begin to heal, because it's the harmony of bringing logic to the energetic space of spirituality. It's the space by which we work to understand ourselves, and we understand that it's not separate, it's energetically holistic, right? That the understanding, and I keep on seeing, and I feel like, and that's what I keep on seeing, and the reason I see this is I'm seeing some energetic conversations that are happening right now in relationality to both the separation from something that was not supportive of the self, but working towards healthy partnership that says one can inhabit both spheres. One can have standards and still be passionate, right? That standards do not require one to abandon passion. That when we understand the standards we hold, we build passion around them. We build passion around them. We build a lot of passion around them, right? Because it's the space by which we speak upon why it's so energetically important. And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, these are, I want to say there's something about these new relationships that are coming together right now as it relates to working through nuance and delicacy, right? I keep on hearing, like, that's what I keep on seeing in relationality to some of these relationships that are forming right now. I keep on hearing there's nuance and delicacy, specifically and particularly because I keep on hearing I keep on hearing when we care about things, we navigate things energetically delicately. So I almost see that there's a lot of this space where I almost feel like I want to describe this. Like it almost says to me, it's almost like these unconscious conversations that are coming through the vibration of being able to like work through something energetically together, or working through, I keep on hearing like working through complicated emotions, or talking upon things in a complicated fashion. um and that's why I keep on seeing that if these are relate like I said, if these are relate and remember, I keep on hearing like there's a door closing an unhealthy partnership with the words "we're supposed to," right? Which is the space by which another person says, "Are you done being emotional?" And someone saying, "We're supposed to be emotional," right? Like it's more of the conversation of understanding that this is why standards are so important, because the same things that would be considered gifts in healthy partnership will be seen as energetic detriments in unhealthy ones, which is the space by which it says you're not, it's okay to be emotional so much as your emotions are not guiding the self so much as they're informing the self. It's okay to have needs so long as they are a fixed point of need, which is a standard, rather than a need that is here, there, or everywhere, which is being too energetically fickle. It's okay, like it's okay to desire to center a partner, right? The attention that we bring to someone, because in healthy partnership, we center upon one another. But if again, if we're in it, as long as we're not trying to make ourselves the center of another person's experience. So we keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy, like this is what I mean in terms of something coming back from the past and someone saying, "Are you done yet?" Another person saying, "We're supposed to," which is the space by which one says when we build into healthy partnership, we're never done anything. We start things, we don't end things. Continuing to get clarification between our fourth and fifth cards in our 5 card spread, we have here our King of Swords in its reversal in combination with our 7 of Pentacles in its reversal. For a lot of the energy, for the energy that is the energy moving deeper into union right now, I keep on seeing that for a lot of these relationships, there's a lot of work that we're seeing that is being done as it relates to working through. Remember what? Let's talk about the temperance relationships. I'm jumping ahead of myself. The temperance relationships are the energies that are facilitating upon the mutual effort, right? These were the relationships that were coming together between the solstice period up until the time that Mercury and Venus stationed direct behind Neptune. Oh no, correction. I'm correcting myself. Sorry, we're doing shifts, so it takes me a minute to catch back up. From the solstice period, from the time that Uranus stationed retrograde up until the solstice period, were the temperance relationships. Now, for a lot of those relationships that we're effectively seeing the mutual effort, I keep on seeing. I keep on hearing there's this energy that's almost saying to one another, "I'm sorry I ever doubted you." But I keep on hearing the energy almost saying, "I'm sorry I ever doubted you, but you are energetically exceptional." Right? And that's what's so beautiful. Like that's what I keep on seeing about some of these partnerships that are coming together. Because what is happening in some of these relationships, they're clearing they're clearing a lot of the debris of the past in relationality to what they energetically expected versus what they're finding in partnership. And this is what we talk about. This is why we talk about all this. Remember when I said that these temperance relationships are so fortified? They built into the context of partnership so in such a stable fashion, because for a lot of these relationships, there was some kind of observation or fear of expectation that someone potentially was not being clear in relationality to their manifestation goal, right? Like the when we're not embodying our manifestation, our words don't match our action. And I keep on seeing that these are some energies that are coming into union right now that are recovering or working through the trauma. And I keep on hearing they're working through the trauma of others' self deception. I'm going to say that again. They're working through the trauma of others' self deception, which is so difficult because it is the wound that another person does not recognize they have until the time that they energetically wound us by recognizing the fact that they were energetically not being honest with the self. And so that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of these temperance relationships, there's potentially a heart opening that's happening right now because it's this space. Remember when I said that those were those relationships that had to come together, not only right as they were getting started, right? Just as they were starting to get started, what happened? Retrograde energy, things from the past rising back up, challenging the energetic direction in terms of what they set their energetic intention upon. And this is why we see that for a lot of those relationships, feeling the release and relief of encountering energy that builds towards the resolution of the self, but not just building towards the resolution of the self, but not lying to the self in the process. This is a lot of the energy that is articulating. This is what I meant in terms of the energy, almost saying you have no idea what you mean to me. Because this is the energy that almost says, I didn't believe, I started to lose faith. I started to lose hope. Like, I started to lose hope that was something that could be, right? But this is what I meant. This is why we do the work of shadow work. This is why we do the work of inner healing. Because when we do, and again, I don't like the word, I know shadow work, everyone goes like, ooh, scary about it. It's just aversion. It's understanding our own aversions. Because when we are working through our own energetic aversions, we build towards things, navigating, we heal ourselves of the illusion of energetic self-deception, which is the space by which we're not being honest to the self because we're working more in a space of aversion. So everything we keep on seeing here, like there's a lot of that energy. Remember, that's why we were seeing so much of that strength card coming up, because it's the energy that sees someone moving in that space and feeling the strength of this is like I almost see the energy like starting to build those plans with one another, like building into that. I almost feel like there's a little bit of this building of momentum, if you will, as it relates to the energetic excitement of having working through those experiences. This brings us to Page of Swords in combination with our Knight of Swords in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. We've got here our Eight of Pentacles in its upright. So let's talk a bit about, now this is hard right now for those magician partnerships. And now the magician partnerships right now, I keep on here, like these were, as we mentioned, these are relationships that were coming together from between the solstice period up until the time of Mercury and Venus stationing direct behind Neptune. For a lot of these relationships right now, I want to see, like, look what they're experiencing, right? They were working to dispel misconception on energy outside of partnership, potentially having to articulate upon a past that looks similar to a present, right? The healing past that often looks similar to something that wasn't necessarily healthy for us, right? But even seeing here, like this is the moment, I keep wondering, this is the moment for some of those relationships as it relates to the energy outside of partnership where the rubber is hitting the road, right? Because if this is the work that they're articulating and expressing to another, how much joy they found, how much happiness that they've experienced in working towards that. We keep on seeing that for a lot of those relationships, that ability of articulating upon that ability of speaking through it, that ability of building into the space of articulating to another how stable one feels if someone doesn't experience it or accept it with the same joy by which we ourselves are finding it. I keep on seeing that for a lot of those partnerships, this is those modalities where they may be feeling the weight of seeing the energy around the partnership changing, but also understanding that when we see energy around us changing as we maturate, right? That is like I see keep on seeing that that's a lot of the energy that is working through that energetic process, or potentially even articulating to one another what's happening, but also building into the point of stabilization in recognizing and identifying. And almost, I keep on hearing like building into a healthier relationship with time in the process, because hoping that time will help to resolve or fix something. Because I keep on seeing you can't force wisdom into things. You can't force wisdom in relationality to a natural process that is occurring towards someone that's more in that state of energetic resistance. Continuing to get clarification between our Page of Swords and its upright and our Two of Pentacles and its reversal. We've got here, wow, we've got double eights today. Double eights. We've got the Eight of Wands in its transverse. So let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing here in relationality to, how do I describe this best? In relationality to um, the retrograde eclipse process that we're currently experiencing. Like I said, it's spiky energy, right? And so it's spiky energy because of the fact that the eclipses have a tendency of wanting, like it wants to increase something, it wants to amplify, right? The retrograde often like tries to often feels like we're being energetically pressed, okay? And so if you're feeling this energy right now in like I keep on describing it as like it's spiky energy, which means like it's a lot of like back and forth. But that's why we were seeing that Wheel of Fortune coming up yesterday, right? Which is just allowing oneself to move towards what feels energetically like, how do we work through spiky energy? We center ourselves, right? We work through spiky energy by centering ourselves. And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, deep within, like in separation, what's beautiful about that is, and that's what I meant in terms of potentially going through a process. Remember when I kept on saying that a lot of the energy right now in separation is potentially feeling frustrated or fortified because they're going through the process of understanding that healthy partnership reinforces our center. Healthy partnership always reinforces our center. And so the space by which, and you'll recall that that's what I meant. And we're going to talk about this again. It's not the fact that I don't see some relationships right now that are healing in the context of being able to articulate upon the past. I keep on hearing, I keep on saying there's a marginal amount of this energy that is healing upon something from the past, but the shape by which that healing is occurring is having to do with someone that's found their center. Is what I keep on saying. And when they find their center, right? And this is what we mean. When we find our center and we feel like we brought an overabundance of emotionality to something that was very small, right? Then that's the energy that I almost see like works in accordance with finding one's own center to be able to articulate and amplify why one feels. Then like I almost can see, like I almost feel like what's beautiful about that is it's almost like the energy that, like I keep on hearing, like articulates to another something of significance, but also I keep on hearing it's like the apology that has no energetic attachments to it, right? Like that's what I keep on seeing in terms of something coming into a space of energetic restoration. Is I almost feel like whatever I'm seeing there that feels like it's restorative is almost like the energy that I almost see like does so in such a way that they say that they're not looking for anything in the space of giving that space of reconciliation to another beyond the fact that it's helping them further stay within their energetic center. So I could keep on seeing like there's something I keep on hearing there's something bittersweet in the space of those energetic apologies because I keep on seeing it doesn't affect energetic proximity, but it potentially helps another on their own healing journey, right? While for the energy that's working towards fundamental closure right now, as they're working towards their own process, I keep on seeing like this is what we talk about in the fact that we don't walk away when we're feeling a lot of emotions on something. We work them out, is what I keep on seeing, right? We work them out, which is like we build into the context of being able to energetically resolve upon it. And this is why, remember when I said, and this is why I feel like there's so much of that energy building into the sense of centering while in the process of healing and separation. Because again, that's those moments that when another person comes back, and I keep on hearing there's potentially some experiences where another person was potentially expecting some kind of like great, like I keep on hearing like, aren't you like, it's like the energy goes, aren't you glad to see me? And someone being like, I prepared a treatise. Like I prepared, like which is the space by which another person says, we don't build up, we don't allow the buildup of desire to try to allow for a restoration to occur. It's the energy that articulates upon the fact that when we're building with one another, we articulate upon where we're going, not upon how much we want one another. And so that's what I keep on seeing, that this is the energy. It goes, aren't you glad to see me? And someone saying, I have found my center, which is the space by which another person says that the desire is not going to be, you can't build a healthy partnership solely on desire. But this is what we like about some of the relationships that we see that are occurring during this time, because these are the energies that are putting their desire on their energetic standards. Okay. Which is again the two of pentacles in its reversal in combination with the king of swords in its reversal. And this is what I mean in terms of these relationships that are coming together, which is the articulate. I keep on hearing like this is the energy that's working through the space. Like these are the relationships, and that's what I meant in relationality to the moon, like the moon cycle, the moon relationships. Why can't I have both? Which is the space that understands that when we understand ourselves, when we work into the context of embracing what we care about, we're not afraid of the things that we energetically desire. We work to understand them. We work to understand the self. We work to energetically resolve what feels like it is energetically supportive to the self versus what feels like something that we're working to heal from. So that's what I keep on seeing about the relationships that are coming into being during this time. It's the understanding that the way that we protect one another is like I keep on hearing when we do our shadow work effectively, which is again working through aversion for there, like working through the space of understanding our aversions to understand our desire that allows us to be able to recognize and identify what feels energetically supportive in terms of what it is that we're seeking in partnership. So that's why I keep on seeing like there's a lot of this energy that is fortified by strong conversation because it's the strong conversation of recognition and understanding that allows the ability of working into partnerships of, and what was the key word that we saw that was happening, what were the energies creating, what were those temperance partnerships creating or working or striving towards? Comprehension. So these are the relationships that are coming together right now. And what are they working on? Comprehension. The comprehension of the self that then allows the ability to understand another even better. Continuing to get clarification between our King of Swords and its reversal in combination with the Seven of Pentacles in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. We've got here our King of Wands, King of Cups in its upright. So what do we see? What do we see with a King of Cups energy? So a King of Cups energy, and this is having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy. Bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. For a lot of the energy we're identifying or working through in relationality to, I keep on seeing the understanding or recognition of the self. And I want to say this, I want to stress this right now. We've got almost all, we've got almost the entire suite of the swords cards out on the table right now. If you have an opportunity, make sure that you head over to our stack later today if you'd like to see this spread, because it's a very interesting spread. But the only thing, and it's interesting too. I want to see if she's going to come out. The only card we're missing in the suite of swords right now is the Queen of Swords, because this is having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy. Bearing again in mind, this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. I'm almost seeing the space of the feminine that is occupying this area here, right? And this is why this is what we see in relationality to feminine, working in the context of the understanding of the self. And this is often what it feels like when we have to hold our standards, right? Like, this is warrior energy. This is like, and the problem with holding standards is we infinitely would prefer we didn't have to, right? But yet we feel compelled to do so. It's That's often what we experience when we're holding. This is how we can tell, right? This is how we can tell we're honoring our standards. Usually the way you can tell you're honoring your standards is, I would rather not. I would rather not have to. And yet here we are. Is what I keep on saying. Like, this is often what we see with like feminine holding their standards, being like, I'd really rather not. But if you insist, right? Because it's the understanding that the force that we put towards things is something that we feel is necessary. It's not our first choice. It's like, it's not our first choice. It's often our last choice. It's like, okay, if you insist, it's working through that space. But this is what I see, right? And this is what is beautiful though, between masculine and feminine, because this is the feminine, that this is often what it looks like when feminine standing in their power, right? Feminine standing in their power isn't the feminine like working through the context of being like, ah, you know what I mean? It's not feminine running around with the sword all the time. It's the feminine that says, the space. And that's why, because you don't want to force standards on things, right? Like, and here's the thing about it, because you can't force standards, and it often requires feminine to be in the space of observing, not absorbing, because you should have them. You should have them, right? You should have them. And often the only way you can recognize standards is via the process of energetic observation, right? It's the space by which you're like, it's the space by which you work through something and you say, that's interesting. You know what I mean? It's the observation and recognition. And that's what I keep on seeing in terms of the feminine, that articulates and says, standards are often fortified by healthy conversation. Because I keep wondering, if someone gets energetically too triggered to have a conversation, well, there's somebody who's being compelled by their passions, right? If someone can't stand the space of having a hard conversation, that's not someone safe. That's not someone safe. That's someone led by their passions, right? So similarly, and this is why we see, like, this is a lot of the feminine potentially working through that context, being able to articulate that, the understanding that the work we do in not being dispassionate is the greatest act of compassion that we can have for ourselves and those around us, because it's the ability to feel energetically stable when internally you feel volatile, that creates the context of creating that energetic support around us, right? Similarly and simultaneously, we see that for a lot of the energy right now of the masculine, this is I keep on saying, this is the masculine and feminine in energetic alignment in a certain way, because this is masculine articulating on the same lesson, right? The force by which we energetically protect one another is not the space by which we feel that we have to protect one another. When we work into the context of saying, I have to protect you from something, it shows the fact that we've ignored work, right? The space should not be the context of saying, I have to protect you from things. It's the energy that says, I work so that you don't need that energetic protection in the first place. And so this is what's beautiful about that, because we see that this is a lot of the masculine energy doing the due diligence and understanding that that work starts within the self, right? We clean, I keep on hearing, we clean our, like we work through the cleansing of our energetic temple first before we bring that forth to others, because it's a space by which we create that allows something to energetically flourish. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the masculine energy, like doing that work, it's the understanding of what it means to check the self. It's like it's like the spiritual power of checking the self before you wreck the self. Before you wreck the self. It's the understanding that we allow for the space, that often in the space that we feel that we need to defend, we become the force that is energetically problematic, right? It is understanding the motivation of doing so, but also understanding the calibration by which we bring it forth. Um, and that's what I keep on seeing in really, and that's I feel like that's happening effectively across all of the frequencies, right? Like working through the process of being energetically vulnerable, understanding and doing that work, right? I almost see the masculine, like doing the work and saying it starts with me first, right? It's like it starts here and it expands from there, continuing to get clarification. And that's what's beautiful about that. Remember when I said this is the conversation that I see. Remember, I said those nuanced conversations that are occurring, that are starting these new relationships. That's what we see that's happening here. Continuing to get clarification between our Eight of Pentacles in its upright in combination with the Eight of Wands in its reversal. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with our wheel. There's that, man, that's so cool. The Wheel of Fortune out again. And I need to stress this. This is pretty great. I just want to point this out to you guys. And this is why I say go check out the stack and look at today's spread. This Wheel of Fortune, there's a lot of cards in this deck, friends. This Wheel of Fortune is in the same spot that it was yesterday. Not only the same spot, it's in the same direction. This is, and I meant like, this is what I mean in relationality to like working through the context of an anomalous eclipse, which is the space by which this eclipse is anomalous, because there's a lot of energetic anomalies that are happening planetarily that are coming into like that are experiencing the amplification of the eclipse process. What are those anomalies that we're energetically speaking upon? We've got a profound every single planetary object, and I have to say planetary object right now because some of the things retrograding in Aries aren't even planets. They're all in retrograde, which is the space by which we can build a lot. It can build really hard on our own sense of volatility, right? Having all those planets in Aries presses real hard on our volatile instincts, okay? We've also got the fact that Jupiter is all alone in Cancer, which can create a lot of sensitivity and feeling isolated or feeling like something is directed towards the self. That's why I keep on saying right now, I don't want you presuming things. Don't make assumptions in this type of energy. Because again, Mercury and Virgo in combination with Jupiter in Cancer, and then all of those planets retrograding in Aries can often create the misconception of something coincidental happening that feels very energetically personal. So that is why we work through the context of understanding, bringing what did the Mercury retrograde teach us when it was also retrograding in the midst of all of these planets in retrograde. Have you tried putting a little compassion on it? Okay. Have you tried putting a little compassion on it? Giving others the benefit of the doubt, understanding that everyone is going through this energy is how we get through it together. Continuing, and that's what I keep on seeing. And that's why I keep on seeing that in the context of the relationships, right? Finding the energetic center, right? the ability, and that's what I meant, and that's what I said. There's no relationship that is being healed by another person's impatience, which is the space by which I said, if somebody's coming back and being like, "Are you done being emotional yet?" Right? Someone being like, I almost see someone saying again, "I was never being emotional in the first place. I was being fundamental." Right? It's the space by which you understand and recognize the fundamental that allows the ability to, again, articulate upon what one is trying to do in a better fashion. So that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy, there could be a lot of trauma that is being released in this energy. That's the benefit. But I'm going to tell you the problem with releasing trauma is you're going to be real frustrated as you release trauma. You're going to be frustrated as you release trauma because you're going to be seeing and recognizing cycles. That's why we talk about the fact. That's why we talk about the fact that healing, your healing journey is not linear, and often the first thing you're going to feel is real mad about it. The first thing you're going to feel is awfully upset or awfully frustrated about something that you now can effectively energetically observe or recognize. But at the same time, and this is this is the thing about it, and I want to describe, like, and that's why I'm going to tell you, man, some of these relationships right now that are coming together, it's moody, these are moody. It's very, there's a mood, it's a mood, it's a vibe, it's a mood, because I gotta tell you, I just wanted to explain this. I literally see some energy that is coming together going, I just did something I never thought I could do. Like, that's what I mean, or I never wanted to have to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like that type of energy. Do you understand the energy I'm talking about in some of these new relationships that are coming together right now? Like the weight of someone being like, ugh, like working through the energetic unfairness of something and feeling the energetic unfairness, and then like immediately just trying to move through it, right? Like that's what that's what I see about this retrograde cycle and these new partnerships coming together. It's like literally, it's like the relationships that are coming together at you caught me at a bad time. You know what I mean? It's like the relationship. They're the relationships that are coming together with the mood of you caught me at a bad time. continuing continuing to get clarification between our Eight of Wands in its reversal in combination with our Five of Pentacles in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with our Three of Swords in its upright. So let's talk a little bit. But here's, and remember when I said, for a lot of these relationships, these temperance relationships coming together, frustrated but fortified. Look at this, because I want to show you, this is our center pillar right now, and that's a 5, right? That's a 5, because it's the space by which we understand and recognize, right? Like this is why, like, this is what's so beautiful about these partnerships, because these are partnerships that, I keep on hearing the energy almost saying, you weren't kidding about that, is what I almost see. It's like the energy that works through something. And what's beautiful about those relationships is, and I keep on hearing, they're working on their understanding. I keep on hearing their understanding that when we energetically mesh, we work on things together, which is, I keep on seeing this energy that's almost articulating to one another and saying, I don't want to burden you with something. And another person saying, you couldn't burden me if you tried. Like that is the energetic force of love, right? It's literally the space, like this is what we articulate, right? The dual force, right? This is how we keep the balance of love intact. It's the song that says, I don't want to burden you. You couldn't burden me if you tried, right? It's the combination of building into that fabric. And that's why I keep on seeing that this is the energy that is looking towards one another. And I feel like it's beautiful because I almost feel like they're apologizing for ever doubting another person's energetic intention, because I keep on hearing like I can almost hear the energy moving into partnership, these temperance relationships, and they're almost saying to one another, I apologize if I doubted you, but you are exceptional. I've never met anyone like you before. And the space by which they're saying, I've never met anyone like you before, this is the energy that says, I never met anyone like you before who does not deceive the self, right? Because when we understand, when we do the work of comprehension, we heal the ability of self deception. And it's not to say that we're perfect in that way, right? We're always learning more about ourselves. But I keep on seeing that this is the energy that is building into the space of relationship as sanctuary, because this is the energy that feels the weight of being able to trust one whose words match their action, because that is the space. The only way you can have your words match your action is if you've healed the work of self-deception. And this is why we work to heal the ego, right? Because often you can tell the difference between a healthy ego and a non-healthy ego, because a non-healthy ego often deceives us. A healthy ego fortifies us, an unhealthy ego like deceives us. So it's a lot of that. Where again, welcome to Uranus in Gemini. It's going to be fun. All right, continuing to get clarification between our Five of Pentacles in its upright in combination with our King of Cups in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification. Ooh, coming through right now with our Six of Cups in its upright. And we like to see a Six of Cups in its upright. We very much like to see a Six of Cups in its upright here, because I want to show you this. Okay? There's some Sacred Heart energy here, because we got the three of Swords, right? Fortified by the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Cups. And what does that say to us? That says to us that a healthy heart, and this is the misconception, this is why I'm going to tell you right now, you don't go on a healing journey so that things feel good all the time. You go through a healing journey so you understand. You work on understanding the self in a deeper way. You work on understanding the full breadth and the full intensity of what we energetically carry. And sometimes it feels like it's energetically overwhelming, right? Sometimes it doesn't feel like there's enough space inside of us to navigate everything that we energetically feel. But when we have compassion for those that we care about, guess what? We make room, right? There's always more room, right? There's always more room. It's a space by which we always make energetic room. We always have the ability to do so, right? And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work right now. Remember when I said there's I would there, so I'm seeing here that for those temperance relationships potentially going through a heart expansion, right? This is a lot of that energy potentially moving deeper into partnership, and they're going into a heart expansion because they're feeling the space of trust, right? They're feeling and seeing the resolve in someone whose words match their action, that is allowing them to effectively energetically share more, to express more, to articulate deeper upon something. And for the energy, and while again, for the energy moving deeper in divine union, these are those magician partnerships that we spoke about. This is the energy going through something that is potentially bittersweet. There may be something that's happening right now for some of that energy moving deeper into divine union that feels like it's a little heartbreaking, because I keep on seeing that when we find something that is energetically beautiful to us and we articulate that to others, and others express in disappointment instead of joy, we realize we're going through a maturation process, because the sign of maturation is someone that does not prioritize the same things as we ourselves do. So that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of that energy, like working through the frustration of observing something that they're articulating to another that should be a cause of celebration, but instead is bringing up rumination. Like, this is the energy that again is looking to time. Like, this is why we talk about the fact that maturation, we often heal. Like, again, this is why we talk about Saturn returns. We heal, we heal in our Saturn, because it's the energy that looks to Saturn and goes, "Can you please handle this for me? Can you please?" Saturn's like, "I'll see what I can do," right? Like, the perspective, like the hope that the perspective will allow someone to heal something in relationality to experiencing it or perceiving it the same way as we ourselves do. Continuing to get clarification between our Wheel of Fortune in combination with our Three of Swords and its upright. Ooh, we got our Two of Swords in its reversal. So many swords out today. But this is like, this is what I mean. This is what I mean as it works to being in the energy of working to resolve things, right? Like, I need to point this out. Like, when we're working to resolve things, and I need to stress this, like, the gift that we give is like, don't, it's like, it's a lot of that, like, the space by which we understand and articulate um, the difference. I keep on hearing, like, the difference between something that we're trying to do versus and I want to describe this in the space of some of the energy of apology that I'm seeing that is occurring right now in some of this retrograde energy, because you will recall that what we articulated upon was the fact that there is some resolution that's happening in this particular eclipse retrograde cycle. And the eclipse retrograde cycle is helping another person recognize and identify the overabundance of emotions that sometimes we want to calibrate for, because we realize that when we bring emotions to things that are not important, we often energetically damage things, is what we see. Because the space by which, when we are operating too much in our ego, we make a big deal out of things that aren't important, right? It's like the space by which we understand or we feel something. And this is what I keep on seeing. And this is why we keep on hearing no two feelings are alike. We do the work to ascribe meaning to our feelings because it shows us where the work goes, whether it's something that needs to happen internally or it's something that needs to happen external of the self. Because when we feel a lot of emotions towards things, sometimes we feel a lot of emotions and then we say, "Why do I feel this way?" Right? And when the higher self says, let me walk you through it. Let me sit you down. Let me tell you why that this is so energetically important. We're able to derive and understand why we feel the things we do. This is how time heals things. We're able to put words to it, to articulate and elaborate upon something that we felt strongly about. When we move towards the process of time, this is also how we come into the space of reconciling things that we wish to heal from, to heal better. Because the moments or modalities that we, again, this is the inner child healing, where we look at something and go, "Ooh." You know what I mean? Like, "Ooh, like that's not something that was necessary. That was something that was too much from the egoic space," right? We're able to take accountability that when we put emotions in the wrong places, we damage things, right? Emotions can build things, they can also tear them down just as quickly. And this is why we're energetically mindful in relationality to where we place emotion, because it's that sense. And again, when we build the understanding and relationality to where we put emotions, then others see us in the space of being energetically reliable, right? The ability of being able to articulate and identify what it is we're trying to do in a better capacity. So I keep on seeing that there's a lot of energy right now, again, working through frustrated but fortified, right? Absorbing, seeing something, being able to recognize it, and being energetically okay with it. And that's why I kept on seeing that for some of this energy and separation, I almost see the energy that is honoring themselves because they recognize the shape of them making different choices. And making different choices is rarely easy. because it's not, I keep on hearing, they're not building into the choice upon what they wish was happening. They're building into I keep on hearing, our wishes become reality when we start to create from the space of allowing the reality to be the ground by which we build, not working towards the energetic fantasy of what we hope will be there without any evidence of it being so. And so that's what I keep on seeing. Like, I almost feel like there's a lot of the energy and separation that's simultaneously also going through that maturation process. This brings us to a lot of the energy that's moving deeper into divine union right now. Clarification between our three of swords and this is what I need to point this out, like, and I want to stress this, right? We've got the energy in separation that's healing via the centering in reality, right? Like the reality that heals. And what's happening for the energy that's coming into divine union? Something magical is happening. Okay. So again, the ability, the magic that is fortified in the reality of the space, the understanding of moving into something, right? The understanding of recognizing that this is a lot of the energy. Like, I almost hear the energy saying to one another, "I've given up hope." Like, you know what I mean? I've given up hope. But that's why I can see this energy that says, when you give up hope, you find hope, right? Because it's the same conversation, which is the space by which you don't demand perfection from others. You identify it, you work towards it. It's something that you create together. And so this is why I keep on seeing that for some of the energy, being able to build into context of the words that match the action. This is a lot of the energy that's almost like like, I almost feel like it's funny because the energy is almost apologizing to one another for ever doubting each other, but also understanding the context that when you experience someone that's exceptional, it's like when you experience and you find someone that's energetically exceptional, it's easy. I just keep on hearing them say the same thing as they're moving deeper into divine union, which is, I've never met anyone that didn't deceive themselves the way that you don't deceive yourself, right? Which is, again, when we stop deceiving ourselves, magical things can occur. Continuing to get clarification between our three of swords in combination with our six of cups. Yeah, there's the Knight of Wands and it's upright, right? Because it's more of this, and this is what I like, and this is what I mean. These two cards are really important in relationality to working through the context of this energetic eclipse retrograde cycle, right? I want to describe this as, it's like, it feels, and I want you to feel like, if you're working through this and you're feeling like things aren't working, your mantra right now is new ground, right? Don't be focused upon something that's not working the way that you want, that you would expect it to. Identify and experience the ground by which you are working upon, is what I keep on seeing. Because for a lot of the energy kind of working through this and like this space right now, the best way I can describe this is, and we were seeing this, like, it's the intensity of going through a Virgo cycle with all of this energy in retrograde. It feels almost unfair. It's like, I want to describe, it's like, it can sometimes feel very energy. It's like, it feel like, that's why I said my heart goes out to those with Virgo placements, because it's like, often you have to understand, Virgos have a very, like, it's the ability to identify and what perfect looks like. And sometimes, like, and that's why we talk about sometimes perfection itself, the ability to identify perfection feels like an energetic curse, because you're like, it does not look perfect. Right? But when you understand that that concept of perfect is in here, right? Nobody else can see it, right? Like, you'll often notice this. You can, like, you work like this often. What those with Virgo placements have to, like, help, like, get through, like, that, like others see something and they go, "It's great," and you're being like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that. That's what we get. Like, that's what we get a little bit in relationality. And that's what I mean. We're going through, and I gotta tell you, it's like the Mercury in Virgo right now with all of this energy in the space that it is. It's like the icing, it is like the cherry on the icing on a very, very messy cake. It's like it's like all of this stuff, them being like, what the, just a little like, but even in the sense of that, but I need to point this out. I need to stress this though. Sometimes that's actually beautiful. Do you understand? It's like it's taking the wabi sabi of something and just owning it, right? It's like it's a moment you put. I need to put it out. It's like the moment that something looks like a mess, and then you put a cherry on it that goes, it's perfect, because then suddenly it is the understanding of what feels energetically intentional, right? It's the observation, and I keep on seeing, and that's what I meant in relationality, and I keep on hearing that's why I keep on hearing that there's a lot of closing out of cycles that feel like and I keep on hearing that this is the icing of the cake moment to a certain extent on some of those relationships, the ability of another, like I almost see some situations where another person was leaving the context by which something could heal with another person, right? I keep wondering, having the progressive conversation, but then in the moment where another person comes towards them, and instead, right, instead of having that point or being able to come into that, they say, are you done being emotional? Right, like, are you done being emotional? Which is the space by which it's like I keep on seeing the energy go, it's the understanding of recognizing what is happening between us and another person that allows us to release trauma and come into a space of healing, because it's the comprehension of an unhealthy energetic cycle, or understand. I'm even seeing some energy right now. It's even letting go of the concept of unhealthy, potentially saying there is someone that does not hold the same standards as I do. And what do we do when someone doesn't hold the same standards as we do? We give them proximity, is what I keep on saying. When someone does not hold the energetic standards as we do, we give them the energetic gift of proximity, which is the ability to recognize and understand and say, like, it's okay. Like, that's okay, right? Like, I almost feel like again, it's almost like some energy in separation, releasing hard feelings, right? Like releasing hard feelings with the understanding of what is happening between them and another person, and then giving them the energetic gift of proximity. And so I feel like, and again, for a lot of the energy right now, that is, coming into divine union, this is the energy getting closer. You see what I mean? So again, we've got some energy in separation that's feeling like that's feeling that sense of accomplishment. And then we've got new relationships that are starting with those delicate conversations. And we've got the temperance relationships that are coming into partnership right now. And they're articulating to each other the full expanse of how they feel about one another. It's like I can see that it's like almost the energy that goes, I finally feel safe enough to admit to you everything I feel, because this is the energy that feels fortified in being able to trust someone. And I keep on hearing they're trusting, these are energies that trust each other because they see that they've healed from self-deception, right? That is what the gift of that retrograde cycle was for those temperance relationships. Remember when I said really strong foundations? This is the energy that says, I've never seen you deceive yourself, right? And never do we feel safer than in the arms of someone that does not deceive themselves, because that is the energy that works into the context of recognizing and identifying like what that force, like what that energetic force of protection feels like, or what it is that, like, and that's why I keep on hearing it's like the energy that's like it's like I keep on hearing they're going through a heart opening process, even though they've been together for a bit of time. Now, for a lot of those, for a final card for today's spread between our Two of Swords in its reversal and our Knight of Wands in its upright, there's that Four of Wands in its reversal. So let's talk a little bit about the Four of Wands in its reversal. The Four of Wands in its reversal, more than anything, speaks to us specifically and particularly as it relates, I keep on getting, it's like as it relates to working on, I keep on like, and remember when I said, these are those, a lot of this energy that we're seeing right now has to do with those magician partnerships that are moving deeper into divine, like that have moved deeper into divine union, right? Like this is like, I keep on hearing, like if these are relationships where they're seeing energy shift around them as they come into partnership, they're effectively almost saying to one another, they're healing by saying to one another, they'll come around someday, right? Which is the observation that when we understand, like when we understand the significance of centered partnership, or the observation of what it means to be within partnership, we don't take it energetically personally. If another person gets it doesn't affect the relationship. If another person articulates upon the fact that they feel like there's something we're doing wrong by focusing upon it, like that's more of the understanding of being able to look at that as a maturation issue. And that's why I keep on seeing the energy that, like, kind of, I keep on hearing, it's like they sigh and say they'll come around someday, because it's the observation of understanding that, and this is what we talk about, like those with commitment issues will potentially see someone centering partnership and say you're going in the wrong direction. Right? It's like, and that's the energy that says they have different standards than we do. They're not like, they don't have the same standards as we do. And that is why we see that a lot of that energy is saying, well, and that's why they're healing their relationship to Saturn, because they're saying, time, there's only one thing that can fix that, and that's that's time. Bottom of the deck on this reading today. Woo, the Tower. But this is the thing. I need to point this out. Okay. It's like the thing about this energy is like, woo. It's like, remember when I said like Pluto in retrograde felt like a haunted house in the summertime? Summertime's over. So now it just feels like a bit of a haunted house. Like, it's like Pluto in retrograde, like my season has arrived. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of this energy that works. I need to point, like working towards, like working in the intention of fear doesn't heal anything, is what I keep on seeing. Fear builds upon fear. And so I keep on getting that, like I feel like I see like a lot of energy right now working through the difference between energy that works towards building into when we heal, we work to alleviate fear, which is, again, fear is the opposite of energetic healing. And it's not, and I keep on seeing like this thing that we have to be afraid of is energetic fear, because when we're energetically fearful, we're not working towards building things. We're working towards like what the energetic fear dictates. So I keep on seeing that a lot of the energy that potentially working through right now is the space by which another person tries to logic their fear, which is the space by which one feels the fear, but one doesn't want to investigate it or understand it, but one wants to build around it to be energetically protective of it, versus the ability of doing energetic shadow work, which is the ability to, I feel like that word is intimidating. It's working through the space of our emotion or aversions to understand ourselves better, to be energetically our best version of self to ourselves and those around us. So I keep on seeing that there's a lot of that work right now, and some of it can feel energetically polarizing. Make sure, make sure that you are not becoming a source of fear. Make sure if you're encountering it, you're trying to heal upon it, make sure that you're articulating it. And I keep on pointing out the best way to heal fear is through healthy questions. The best way to alleviate fear is healthy questions, because I'm going to bring it up. You guys know it's my favorite analogy. Our fear is like a creepy child that likes to tug on our shoulder and show us a scary picture, right? And sometimes they tug on our shoulder and we go, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" And goes, "I made you something." And you go, "What did you make me?" And they show you something and it's weird and there's nothing you can do about it. And you go, "Wow, buddy, that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to put this over here." Okay. Like, we're just gonna put that there. Thank you for the note. Really appreciate it. You're doing a great job, right? And sometimes the fear tugs on us and goes, "I got something for you." You go, "What?" And you shows you something. "I made you this." And you go, "Okay, buddy. Oh, you know what? We can do something about that." That's helpful. You know what? I can take that suggestion. we're going to take that and we're going to do something. And now we're feeling better about it. How are you feeling? Good. Okay, cool. This is what it feels like. That's what shadow work. That's what shadow work is. So make sure that you're doing that. Make sure you're doing that for yourself. Make sure that you're doing it for others. And again, when you hear like horses, not zebras, give others the benefit of the doubt right now, okay? Because I don't want you like allowing your worst case scenario to move you into a space that then you got to come out of this retrograde eclipse thing and then come to me for a reading because you were allowing your anxiety to energetically guide you. And I will say it's not the fact that ain't like we fortify our anxiety by being energetically productive through it, by moving it or spacing it into a space of excitement. And I'm going to tell you right now, we don't need to work with every energetic frequency. If just feeling stable right now, if just feeling centered is hard enough, you're already doing a great job in this energy. That is enough. Okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. That is our daily collective read. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my site. It is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember, I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site. So I encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the Tower card. Our next class will be held on Thursday, September 18th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Star card. If you would like to become part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my Stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my Stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned or studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my Stack, not only will you receive a discount on the whole year's worth of classes, you'll also receive a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage, moving towards your tarot goals going forward. You'll also have full access to the Tarot Church Library Class Archive, which is access to over 17 hours worth of material in an ever-expanding library. You'll also have access to, one of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader, as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events, as well as my online live schedule. Also, you'll have access to my mystic meditation articles, which give you updates energetically on what we've been experiencing in the cards. Just wrote one on the full moon we just experienced. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also, for my students seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also, for my students that are seeking, I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings, which you can purchase per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. And we will do this again on Monday. That is our daily collective read. We are going to get started on personal readings. The list for today is congratulations, Julia. You got our highest gifter for today. And Just Bridget, you've got, I never say your full name. You've got a second, so you'll have an additional card in your readings. If anybody else would like to get on the list for today, I'm actually going to be closing the list. So if you get on the list right now, you will be on the list for Monday. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Just bear with me. All right. And friends, we are already at 32.9K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen. We'll get to 50K in no time. Yes, retrograde in Pisces right now, sending you support, Pisces. And thank you as well. Not me, not this making me want to write an essay to my ex. That's the type, I mean, that's a very Virgo energy to do right now. Absolutely. And thank you so much, Queen of Swords, for those heart me's. Thank you as well. Guys, please thank Kay Megan for all of their help modding. Make sure to give them some love. Hi there. How are you doing, Alexandra? Ready for the weekend, tap to claim, doing okay, focusing on grounding and getting through eclipse season. You're so welcome, Jacob. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Rosalie, I'm trying to hold my standards and communicate it while not allowing my past cloudiness to cause defensiveness. Grand Rising Witches, so good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing well today. Yes, I'm in Aries and I woke up confused today. This energy for Aries, like it can potentially create that feeling of being very pugnacious. You know, it's a little bit of like this try me energy. And so just be conscientious as to what feels like it'll be productive is what I'm going to keep on saying. It will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Tap to claim. Thank you as well, witches. And Rosa, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Yeah, we like that Three of Swords there. I mean, I gotta admit, I know how we feel when we see a Three of Swords, but like I like the fact that this Three of Swords feels it feels protective. It feels energetically supported. You know, the cards around this Three of Swords feel really important. Absolutely. I'm tired, Grandpa. That's too exactly. Well done. Well done, witches. It's so good to see you today. Hi there, Julia, and congratulations winning our gift reading. I'm okay. I'm focusing on grounding and getting through the eclipse season. Absolutely. Best things to do right now. The energy does feel unfair. Yeah, I mean, listen, like I keep on hearing, remember, when things feel are unfair, like we can work towards balance. You know, like, and I keep on hearing, like, being able to put words to something, it'll be helpful. I'm well. I had to clear much overwhelming anxious energy last night. Sending you support, Julia. It felt unreal. I told you it's gonna potentially, it's gonna be spiky during this eclipse cycle. Like it's gonna potentially come and go, ebb and flow. I love that. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's definitely hanging around. Good on clearing it. Absolutely accurate. Thank you. Yes, and I keep on hearing if it feels like it's intense, like center by remembering your purpose. Like let the purpose guide you forward. The cherry on the messy cake. Exactly. Hi there, Minnie. Absolutely. Hold on a minute. Yep, let's just do Halloween now. Exactly. I haven't planned my costume yet. Thank you. I love that. You're welcome, Pisces. I love that creepy child analogy. Thank you, dear. I almost said the same exact thing. I bet it will be a cool costume. Oh, I can't wait. I want to know what everyone's going to be. The best way to illuminate fear is to ask what kind of questions. What to ask kind of questions. Yes. Right? Helping another person through fear is asking reasonable questions. Right? Like it's I know, and I know it can be hard because again, like something a healthy fear is fortified by questions, you know? Yep. I had it typed out and then it popped up. Yes, eliminate you know, I don't think I don't want to describe it too. It's not about eliminating fear. It's understanding the fear that feels like it's energetically supportive versus the fear that amplifies upon itself, you know? Absolutely. And thank you so much, up Atlantica, for the follow. Hold on, just catching back up. I love it when that happens. Exactly. Excellent. All right. Yep. And thank you for those gifts, dear. How are you doing today, Kay? What does Pisces in retrograde mean spiritually for Pisces? Um, I mean, I want to describe it best right now, Jenna, as it potentially, I wouldn't be surprised if you feel like you're going through a rut, you know? And sometimes, I feel like a Pisces retrograde can often be difficult for Pisces because it can feel like things are not inspiring, you know? Like it can be like a case of the blahs. But that's what I keep on saying. Like, remember, like we can work on cultivating inspiration within ourselves, right? It's not fleeting, it's about generating. I feel like that's kind of the best thing I can tell someone with Pisces, like going through a Pisces retrograde. Hi, Ashley. Energy for Sag this weekend. Um, don't get into a fight. the thing is, the thing right now, the thing right now with Sag and Aries placements, I gotta tell you, it's the fact, like it's the fact that there's so many all of these planets right now in Aries. It can create it's like it can create a lot of that try me kind of energy. And I keep on hearing like if don't match energy, right? If someone's messing with you and you're reactive, don't give them the luxury of affecting you. Like that's kind of the best way I can describe it. No chicken energy. Okay? No chicken energy. You know what I'm talking about, Sag. no, no chicken energy. So much intensity. Good to see you today, Queen. How are you doing, F? My question is on the disco. Thank you for dear. I got you, Bridget. No problem. Esteban, good to see you today, dear. Yep, good to see you. Yes, I had to write a letter. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I had to write a letter and burn it last night to release, sending you support, Jordan. But again, I think that those type of things right now are helpful, you know, like finding productive ways to put a lot of emotion that one is trying to work to release. I think I'll be on the road. Okay, I got you, Esteban. Well, listen, I don't like doing readings when you're traveling. Esteban, if you want to get on the list today, I can try to get you on. All right. What do you mean by temperance partnerships? That was the last energetic cycle we saw that was happening. So those I feel like those kind of reached their culmination point around the time that Uranus went retrograde, right before the eclipse cycle started. Excellent. Yeah, I like that. Creating a soul path. That's beautiful. We Pisces get the extra special sauce. I mean, it's just, it's like you feel everything. It can be hard. It can be hard for Pisces. Like I feel like you know, I'll be the first to admit energetically, like, and I was just talking about this. It's been a rough year for Pisces. I was like this type of energy. It's similar. Like I said, I literally said the energy for Virgos going through this in their season is similar to how I felt when Pisces were going through theirs. Because Pisces, everything was exiting Pisces during Pisces season. That's awful. Like that's awful. It's like working through sentimentality. It's like wistful. You know what I mean? Like the Pisces having to go through like wistfulness at the time of their season. Aries tried me energy is reminding me of a Monty Python scene. Oh, please post it on the disco. Oh my God, I'm a Sag and my hubby's an Aries. Play fighting. Just play fighting, not real fighting. Okay, Corey. I don't hurt each other's feelings by play. I can already see it. Oh, I thought we were playing. Well, now we're not. Like that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem with like Sag and Aries fighting. I thought we were playing. We were, but now you took it too far. It's like now we're enemies. Yeah, I feel too much all the time. Oh, it's okay. We appreciate our Pisces. We love our Pisces babies here. The universe is like, we made this special sauce just for you. I know. Like, where am I on the list? But I need to leave. Oh, Hannah, are you on the list? Hannah, are you? Oh, did you want to get? You have to listen. If you're on the hold list, you got to tell me if you want to get off of it. Did you say you wanted to get off the hold list? It's the just a flesh wound scene. Yes, exactly. It's comforting to know I'm not the only fish swimming upstream. But listen, if you're swimming upstream, you're doing the work that Pisces is here to do. Like that's a hard thing about it. It's like that's what Pisces are here to do. You're learning to swim upstream. You see what I mean? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's the struggle. Tis real. The struggle. Tis real. All right, let's get to it. We don't have a lot of time today. The list is closed. Cancer is like, again, it has to do with the fact that Jupiter is in Cancer. Cancer, don't get too much in your ego with Jupiter in Cancer right now. No idea. How dare you, energy? It's okay. Okay, Hannah, I'm going to try to add you on. The list is closed right now. List is closed. We're going to do our best to get to everybody because I got a short window of time today. I'm a Pisces reflector in the human design, so it has been rough. Building me up to be stronger. Yeah, Pisces reflector. Man, that's rough. No, being a Pisces reflector can be this type of energy right now. Be careful about what you're reflecting, All right, let's continue. All right, thank you. I appreciate you, Hannah. All right, we're going to get started. The list is closed, but if you get on the list today, you'll be the first person read on Monday. You also have an additional card. Before we get started, let's do an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide card here. We're going to count back from 10. When we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The goose. We'll do that again after the next reading. And guys, we're at 37.6K likes. When we get to 50K, we'll do a giveaway, and I'll be gifting a reading back to the collective. I've got some outside tea here for Bridget. Outside tea. I feel like I'm at a breaking point. Everywhere I turn, I see so much hatred and a lack of humanity. And it cuts even deeper when I see it within my own family. I often question why I chose to be here because so many times I feel like I don't want to be here at all. I wonder why I chose to be surrounded by such opposition instead of being among like-minded souls who not only believe in compassion and love as I do, but truly reflect it back. 2 cards, please, on the deeper lesson in being surrounded by opposition throughout my life rather than harmony. And 2 cards on my higher self's guidance for calling in soul family at this time. You hear that? And an extra card, please. All right. Oh, you got a hidden card here too. So I'm seeing one of the, and I'm also, hold on, I'm going to pin you up right now. And thank you for that. Thank you for pinning that too so much, because I think that that's the first, that's definitely a message that's coming through in this reading, Bridget. I want to stress here, and it has to do, again, I'm going to kind of like the fact that I've done readings for you before. We're going to kind of delve into your Akashic to a certain extent. Because I think you recall that one of the things that was interesting when I delved into your Akashic was I saw the fact that you even coming here required a bit of convincing, right? And it's interesting too, because I keep on seeing that the space by which something is possible was the condition by which you energetically arrived, right? And I keep on, every time I read for you in relationality to why I'm here, I keep on hearing, like, I keep on seeing this argument of someone saying, we desperately need you down there. And the word desperate is the important part. because desperate means energy that is in a state of despair, right? And often, and I keep on hearing, sometimes it only takes one. I know, I want you to write that down somewhere because it's coming, it's coming, like I'm getting that message straight or Akashic. Sometimes it only takes one, which is the space by which we understand that sometimes it only takes one conversation. Sometimes it only takes one observation. Sometimes it only takes one moment of experiencing something in a different way that can entirely change another person's opinion upon things. And it's really hard, right? It feels like you're working against the current. It feels like you're pushing against the tide because often, and I feel like this is what we talk about in relationality to like the work that we do in terms of like identifying like what it means to be a warrior is not doing something because it's easy, but doing something because we know it's the right thing to do, despite others' despair. And I feel like I almost see like, and I can see this, like I can almost like I feel like the thing I keep on seeing is not, I keep on hearing it's not the fact that you're not surrounded by good people. I feel like the guides placed you in a space that you're surrounded by cynical energy, right? Energy that says it's just the way it is, right? And I keep on hearing nothing is worse than saying it's just the way it is. Because when you say it's just the way it is, it's a space where you don't stop to say, but it doesn't have to be this way, right? It's a space by which we say we can do better. Um, and I feel like that, I feel like I almost see a space like I want you to consider. And I know that this may be hard to recognize because I know it feels um, very much like the space by which you feel like you are like the outsider upon something. But I want you to understand that the spearhead often feels like the outsider. But the space by which one shows others that what they're doing is in fact a choice. Like the gift of choice is understanding and allowing someone to say it doesn't have to be that way. And I feel like I want you to understand. Like I see some energy that has literally been changed by having met you. I would not be surprised if you have energy that the song you will hear as you're turning the tide is I have never forgotten you. I will never forget you. Right? Because it's the space I keep on hearing, it's the space by which another person says, I've never met anyone like you before, and I'll never meet anyone like you again. And I keep on seeing that I feel like I keep on hearing one of the reasons that you arrived here is to help another person that through yourself recognize that what they're making are choices. And because I keep on hearing every time you do something that feels like it's going against the energetic tide, you're saying, remember, you're reminding them that that is a choice that they're energetically making. Um, everything and everything I keep on, and I feel like there's something, and I keep on hearing, and it's interesting too, because that's where this is becoming a counterpart reading, you know? And it's interesting too, because the counterpart like is actually like they're speaking to me almost from a karmic fashion. And they're saying to me, like, that's what I've always loved about you, is what I keep on hearing them say. Like, I keep on hearing that's what I've always loved about you. You do it anyway, right? Which is I keep on hearing like you do something because it's the right thing to do, not because someone can energetically repay you for it. Bottom of the deck on this reading, we often don't know we often don't know the impact that we have on those around us. That's the hardest thing about it, is what I keep on seeing. We often don't know the impact that we have on those around us because we don't have the inclination of energetically talking about things. So I almost see some energy that says, like, I almost feel like there's some kind of energy that I keep on hearing someone say, like, you inspired me to quit, or you inspired me to do something different. Like, I keep on hearing somebody say that, almost in the space of you doing something, um, you another person, like, I keep on hearing, don't, like, you, like, I know it's hard for you to see, but I'm hearing them, like, they're being, and it's interesting too, because I don't know if you noticed this, but there were all it's funny because, like, there were all these dogs that started going crazy as soon as I gave started this reading for you, which is the space by which is, like, the energy is, like, almost saying, like, you have no idea the profound impact that you may potentially be having simply in the experience of existing. um I almost, like, I keep on hearing someone say, know it, don't show it, which is the energy that I keep on seeing potentially around you, that doesn't, like, I almost feel like I see some energy being protective of you in some fashion, or speaking highly of you when you're not around, but not necessarily showing that to you when they're face to face with you, which is interesting. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost weird. It's almost giving me the vibration of someone who's, like, really worried about giving you a big head, even though I feel like it's not, like, someone couldn't give you a big head if they tried. Like, that's the thing that's so interesting about it, you know? It's giving me, like, it's giving me some kind of vibration of somebody, like articulating or speaking towards you in some capacity in relation out, like, I keep on hearing, like, I keep on hearing hidden pride is someone who talks about us highly, but you would never know it if we met them. You know what I mean? Like, it's giving me a little bit of that type of energy, you know? Like, it's giving me a little bit of energy that might not necessarily, like, the way they speak towards you versus the way they speak about you might be very, very different. You'd never know it. You never know it, is what I keep on seeing. I feel like I keep on hearing, like, I feel like and they keep on telling me they want you to write down, it only takes one. I don't know why they keep on saying that's going to be really important, which it says to me, it only takes one, because they're saying to me that the space by which the space by which you're energetically placed is articulating upon the significance or the impact that you can have in helping another person identify and recognize that they are making choices, rather than just kind of going, like, I keep wondering, rather than just kind of doing something the way they always have done it, is what I keep on seeing, or working in the context of like, I feel like it's like you're, and that's what's so hard about it, is, like, I feel like it's the space by which you're disrupting, right? And that's the thing about it, disrupting energy is often helping energy innovate through something, but it never feels that way for the energy that's in the space of disrupting something. Sending you so much support on that journey, Bridget. Yeah, you got that card coming out again. Yeah, a profound impact is what I keep on seeing. And it does feel like, again, I feel like it's almost giving me a little bit of energy that says, like, when you're ahead of your time, it always feels like everybody has to play catch up. Is what I keep on hearing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Bridget. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. The list is closed. If you'd like to get on for Monday, you'll be the first person read for. You'll also have an additional card in your reading. I'm going to take a moment to read over the comments that came through as it was reading. Hold on a minute. Oh, thank you for the compliment, Nissa. Don't worry, friends. I'm not going anywhere. I've made the commitment and I plan to see it through. It's happy to claim, Bridget. I just struggle like this a lot. No, I understand. No, and I'm identifying it even now. Like, it's saying to me, like, this is, Like this is the hard part, or this is, I keep on hearing like this is a lot of that, like it's literally like I've got, like when I was reading it, like the Akashic was saying, like, this is what we brought you here for. Remember when I said when they're like like they desperately need you down there, they're like, this is what they were talking about. Definitely I can relate. That's a really beautiful statement. Thank you. Good to see you, Per. Not me bawling my eyes out to Bridget's reading. Okay. I guess I'll never know who those people are that feel that way. Absolutely. And Gabby, thank you for the follow. Some of us are here. Thank you for being brave and having this reading fully resonating. You're not, and I want to say that right now, Bridget, you're not alone in feeling that way. So you see this changing for me, aligning with others like me in the, no, I doubt, I see you're already doing that. Like I feel like the space by which you're aligning with others in that context, like you're already doing it. I keep on hearing it's you unconditionally choosing yourself that is bringing you into alignment with those who unconditionally choose you, is what I keep on seeing. And I feel like it's hard because I keep on seeing you healing from some kind of like stop doing that kind of energy, you know? Like some, I don't know why, like some kind of energy that says like, like that tries to make it feel like something you do naturally is something that is negatively bad. I almost, I feel like I see you like unconditionally choosing yourself. And I keep wondering, every time you unconditionally choose yourself, you're paving the way to meet energy that unconditionally chooses you in the process. And who cares if they do? Say what you feel and mean what you say. I like that, Alexandra, my mom. She's my biggest fan when talking to others, but my biggest critic to me. Yeah, you'd never know it. You'd never know it. That's what I was getting. I definitely did ruffle some feathers with with your post yesterday. Yes, as the disruptors, we often feel like we're the bad guy for just trying to do the right thing. Yep, in the most respectful and diplomatic way. You're so welcome, dear. I know it's hard right now. It's hard because there's a lot of energy that wants to project things right now, right? It's really hard when energy wants to project. I feel like my purpose is similar. Oh, absolutely, Kay. We're happy to do a reading for you in that capacity. All right, next person we're reading for today is Holly. Holly, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. Oh, nice. Oh, enjoy. What movie? Tell us what movie on the disco. You're so welcome, dear. I hope you have a beautiful day. And while we wait for Holly's question, let's do another intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. All right, we're going to count back from 10. When we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Raven. All right, we'll do it again after the next reading. Nix, can you please do me a favor and give me please give me the first initial of the last name of the donation that you sent. Oh, I see it here. Never mind. I don't need you to. You gave me your username. We're in good shape. I just wanted to confirm. It was a bird. I was close. All right, guys, we're also at 44K likes. When we get to 50K, I'll be gifting a reading back to the collective. And I'm going to pin up Nick's here. Make sure to give Nick some love. Can I get a general, please? Um, you know what? I've got a little bit of energy. Like, here's the thing, man. You know, I keep on. I feel like I see a bunch of energy around you that like wants a piece of your time in some kind of way, shape, or form or fashion. And I keep on hearing like, you're not Kate. Everybody does not deserve. Everyone does not get a slice of you. And I want to point this out too. Never do we like when someone starts articulating, this is why jealousy will ruin relationships. Like, this is what we talk about. Like, jealousy will ruin relationships because the context by which another person says, like, why do they get that and I get this, is the space by which we understand that relationships are unique. It's not a one size, we don't take a one size fits all approach as it relates to relationship. And I feel like there's like it almost feels like someone making an absolute fool of themselves, like ruining a good, like you I will never understand someone that will ruin a good thing with their own energetic insecurity, because and it does say to me, and this is what, and I have to I have to tell you, and it's funny too because it was coming up in our reading, right? And this is why we're energetically protective, because energy that is not healed from self deception will say that they want something but clearly not be ready for it. Energy that has not healed from self deception will articulate that they want something, but then give the evidence of when it is occurring and just not be ready for it, not be prepared. Like, because what feels good up here is a lot different when it's happening here, is what I keep on seeing. And so I feel like, and this is what I mean, and it almost feels to me like, so it's like it feels to me almost like someone who's like acted a fool to you, you know, like already expressed the fact that they can't energetically control their passions in some way. And this is why I keep on hearing you get to decide what an energetically restorative conversation is. Don't let somebody tell you, I want to have a conversation for closure. There has never been a closing conversation in all of human existence. There is no such thing as a closing conversation. Closing conversations are someone looking for openings. A closure conversation is someone looking for an opening. And I want to tell you right now, if you gave someone some time to heal something, if another person knew that you are energetically available to heal something, then that conversation changes dramatically in the context of them seeing you with someone else. Because healthy energy does not interrupt our happiness. Healthy energy does not come in and articulate upon the fact that they feel that they need energetic closure. In that is like that is the closure. That's the like what, like that is the closure, and that's what I keep on getting. You don't owe you don't owe anybody anything in relationality to closure. And if someone's saying to you, you owe me closure, you say closure is not something we give each other. It's something that we find within ourselves. And often energy that cannot find closure will try to project that closure out into the ether. They'll try to say, you owe me closure. Nobody, there's no, as if you could, as if you could give closure to someone that says you owe me closure. When someone says you owe me closure, that is your closure, because that is someone saying, I can't find closure inside of myself. And that's them saying, I want more of you. Give me more of you to get the closure I need. That is not going to give closure. That is going to make it worse. That is going to make it worse instead of energetically better. So remember, when someone says to you, you owe me this, You need to give me closure. The minute that they say you need to give me closure is the moment you understand there's like you can stop the conversation, is what I keep on seeing, because they're already asking you to give them something that is impossible for them to find within themselves, and talking to you is not going to help them find it. Helping, that is not, you cannot give them the map to their own closure. Especially, I keep on seeing, especially if you've already had that conversation with someone, is what I keep on getting here. Bottom of the deck on this reading, boom, Queen of Swords. There she is. And I feel like, and again, don't let someone take your compassion to require you to bend over backwards for their healing process. We don't require things on our healing journeys. You don't require things, right? In fact, you know what we do in healing journeys? We give things. We give things on our healing journeys. We don't take things. We don't demand things on healing journeys. We often understand. We go, I owe you, like, you want to see someone on a healing journey? I owe you an apology. I thought you could use this. It's the healing journey is one of giving. It is not one of demanding. Like, you know, like, I almost feel like somebody saying, and then don't let somebody say that somebody else said that you owe them something. God, and again, I need to point this out. No ubiquitous they. Don't let someone put someone else, an imaginary person's words in their mouth. I almost see somebody saying, my therapist or my somebody said that you, blah, blah, blah. Did they? Did they? That's interesting. That is that a real is that what they really said? Or are you cutting and pasting something? I don't think I keep on hearing. I keep on hearing somebody say, I don't think they said that. Right? It's very convenient. I keep on hearing it's very convenient to say another person said something who you can't go to for reference. Right? Don't let, I keep on hearing, don't let someone put an imaginary words in an imaginary person's mouth. Don't let somebody, I keep on hearing, don't let them take their words and put them in another person's mouth and claim that another person said that to them. Because I almost see somebody who's trying to like provoke a conversation with you by being like, they said this, right? That's interesting. That's how you close a conversation like that. You say, that's interesting. I'll have to talk to them about that. See how quickly the conversation changes. That's interesting. I'll have to have some more. I'll have to discuss that with them. That's interesting. I just keep on hearing. I've got, and it's funny because it's somebody coming in spirit saying, that's interesting. I'll have to take that up with them. See if that changes what they're saying. Because everything I keep on seeing here, like I keep on hearing, don't let someone else drive a wedge between you and another person by saying, like I keep on hearing, don't let someone drive a wedge between you and another person. And I feel like I'm even getting, even especially and particularly if the wedge that they're creating is completely imaginary, is what I keep on getting. And I like to point this out. I keep on hearing, I've been getting this coming through in readings. Don't let someone say something to get information from you and then requiring you to clarify and then them saying thank you. Right? Like that's the type of thing I'm seeing here. Right? That's not what I said. I said, okay, good, thank you. Thank you very much. Have a great day. That's interesting. I keep on seeing, that's interesting is a full sentence, is what I keep on hearing. You're so welcome, dear. And thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list The list is closed, but you can get on the list for Monday, and you'll be the first person read for. 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers if you want to get on the list for Monday. And if you get on the list today now, you'll have an additional card in Monday's reading. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Hold on a minute. Absolutely. Calling in and out due to work. Oh no, Alexandra, I haven't. You are next. Actually, perfect timing. All right, I have to walk away from. No, you have to walk away from that type of energy. Absolutely true. Exactly. Thank you, Team Ilsana. Nix, my ex. Oh dear, my ex is in addiction recovery and is super volatile. And tried to have the closure conversation on Tuesday. Needless to say, it didn't go well. Oh, sending you so much support, dear. Sending you so much support. Thank you as well for confirming the reading, Witches and Nikki. We needed this reading, 100%. He did say, his therapist said that. Sending you support, Nix. My ex also has told me that his therapist said, yeah, okay. That sounds like a real thing that somebody would say. That sounds like a real thing someone would say. That sounds like a therapist, something a therapist would say. Thank you as well, Witches. I looked up the therapist qualifications and he's very qualified, so I doubt it. That sounds like a real thing a real person would say. Me too. I appreciate sending you so much support, Nix. I hope this reading helped. Sending you so much support on that journey, dear. All right. I know, Nikki. My ex would say that fixing our relationship was too stressful for him. Oh, okay. Sending you support as well. And thank you guys for supporting each other in the comments. Yes, a therapist would definitely say that. All right, let's continue right now. I mean, again, a therapist is not going to tell you what to do. All right. I can't. All right, the next person we're reading for right now is Alexandra. Alexandra, if you're here, can you respond in all caps and let me know if you had a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? Oh, okay. Person taking, but I mean, like, and that therapist is going. I mean, that sounds more like advice than a directive, right? Like that sounds like advice. You're so welcome, Melissa. All right, while we wait for Alexandra to come back, let's do a quick intuition check. All right. I'm going to count back from 10. When we get to 1, I will show the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The seal. Thank you guys so much for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. Oh, you were already together when they said that. Oh, that's awkward. Again, that sounds like a real thing that would happen, Kay. That sounds like a real thing that would happen. Oh dear. All right, let's continue right now. Oh my gosh, these are doing it. Yeah. Oh, and thank you. Yes. So the list is closed today, Shakira. But if you want to get on for Monday, you can send the donation today and you'll be the first person read for on Monday. I think Alexandra had to step away. The next person on the list is then Julia. Julia, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. All right. And my friends, we are at 47.4K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective in the form of a random drawing. How are you doing today, Julia? Can you let me know if we're doing a general or if you have a specific question? Yeah, it's been a, oh, we're doing a past life. Absolutely. Yes, let me just get Kay her one card, please, because it's a late where they are. Um, I feel like it's funny too because it's actually feeling like it's a guide reading because it's saying, "Look how far you've come." You know, I feel like it's almost a space by which someone said something to you that you would have. I keep on hearing like, you would have. I keep on hearing like you would have consumed it instead of observed it, right? Which is like I keep on seeing there's something really important that the guides like are seeing in relationality to um like the when we care about one another we don't try to make we don't try to glide through conversations, which is the space by which we say something just to make it easier on the self. And I don't know why, like I keep on seeing like it's more of the amplification on putting. I keep on hearing it's the same message of saying the wondrous act of putting our words in other people's mouths that we can't that no one can ever the beautiful watch the beautiful act of someone taking their words, putting them in someone's mouth in a way that you can never in the mouth of in the mouth of someone that who can never confirm or deny that they said it, is what I keep on hearing. The wondrous act. I keep on hearing like the wondrous act of taking our words and putting them in the mouth of someone who can never confirm or deny whether they said that. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's interesting. Is what I keep on seeing. It's working through something in that capacity, or being able to energetically observe. Like I keep on hearing the convenience, like the energetic convenience of such a thing is what I keep on getting, right? Because I keep on saying it's not, you can't even confirm or deny that. I can't confirm or deny it. It's like I keep on hearing like the like it's like the Schrodinger's it's like the Schrodinger's box of, of whether they said that. Thank you so much for having that reading, and thank you again for all of your help, Kay. The Schrodinger's box of as to whether they said that. All right, where are we here? We're doing a past life right now for Julia. And guys, I've just pinned Julia up there. Let's give Julia some love. All right. Wow. I've got some like karmic work here happening, you know? And the thing I keep on seeing, the thing I keep on seeing in relationality to some kind of karmic work, I would not be surprised if you've been going through it in relationality to like some relationship, you know? Um this is giving me like some do as I say, not as I do energy. Boo. Like you know what I mean? Ooh. You know? Like this is giving me a little do as I say, not as I do type of energy. Um, like I keep on I gotta tell you, how do I describe this best? Like the space by which I gotta tell, and what's interesting about it, and I have to stress this, it feels like the karmic wound that formed between you and another person has not been in the past life. It feels like it occurred in this one, is what I keep on seeing. Because I'm seeing that in a past life, everything between you and another person was energetically copacetic. And I'm just going to kind of, and it has to do with the space of being energetically supportive energy, which is like I see some kind of experience that was happening between you and in the past life, between you and another person, of like always being by their side. You know what I mean? Like it's giving me the type of energy where you are gladly, I keep on hearing you are gladly by another side because you were such in a space of caring about another person that it did not impact you in the slightest. Because, and I keep on hearing there was some kind of opportunity, right? There was some kind of energetic opportunity or some kind of gift that I see that somebody was working towards. And I keep on seeing you almost saying, like, doing everything you can to try to facilitate them being able to do their gift or to work through their gift most like most successfully. And this is what I meant in relationality to the wound between you and another person are forming now. Because I almost see a situation where you guys have come into this experience and the roles are reversed. Now I see you having the energetic gift that they had back then. And I keep on hearing what a difference a life makes because I keep on seeing instead of them supporting you in the same energetic fashion that you did in the past experience, they're taking something energetically personally. They're seeing, I keep on hearing, they're taking it, they're 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 all they're doing is articulating upon the hurt that they feel in you trying, and I keep on seeing in you trying to do something. And what's wild about it is I almost see you doing something in the same exact way that they themselves did it in the past experience. It's giving me, it's like, and I gotta say this, like I feel like when I see something like this, I feel like it's requiring, like I feel like this is a lot of the past experience that was potentially requiring you to walk away from some kind of energetic connection where I keep on hearing like everything was fine until you went off to pursue yourself or to find yourself. I keep on hearing the same message that's coming through that's helping you heal because I keep on seeing that is the observation that when we care about each other, unconditional means like I keep on hearing we don't take another person's accomplishments personally. I keep on hearing, and this is what I mean about you having to heal from something, is like the observation that another person's accomplishments never harm us unless we are energetically insecure. Like it's giving me like a rising tide raises all ships. But I feel like it's awful because I almost see the fact that you had to go through some kind of like really difficult experience of healing from someone that almost I keep on hearing like almost somebody saying like choose your passion or choose me. Like they might not have been broadcasting that or saying that, but that's what it felt like. Because I keep on seeing you saying it doesn't do anything but give me joy. And almost somebody saying your joy is hurting me, which is the space by which someone says, if you don't put that attention towards me, like I take it as a slight. So I feel like it's interesting because I almost see the fact that you've come into this experience to understand or work towards what healthy relationship is. But one of the things that's happening is you're having to like heal a very heavy karmic cycle by which another person or another energy was perfectly fine, like everything was fine, so long as you were energetically subservient to them, right? So long as you are focusing all your attention towards them. But I feel like this is what we mean, like this is what we talk about the attenuation of energetic cycles. A healthy relationship is demarcated when we center each other in the best way possible, which is the space by which another person centers us, but we don't demand to be the center of attention. And that's what I meant in relationality to you healing from some kind of energetic situation of the past where someone was trying to art was everything was fine so long as they were the energetic center of attention. And that's often what can happen when we're building into like I almost see like I feel like there's something bittersweet because that's what I meant. You're like, okay, I could stay with you, but I would have had to abandon myself and all of my ideals in the process of focusing my attention upon you. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, like it's giving me like that's what I meant about you having had to complete or heal a karmic cycle with someone because I keep on hearing it's like you having to complete a karmic cycle with like all eyes on me kind of energy, right? And remember what it's like it's a continuation of what I said. We center each other in the best way possible. Healthy relationship, we're constantly centering one another, but we're not demanding to be in the center, right? It's the space by which we build into a context of compassion. I see that you're doing that work and you're finding it, but I also feel like it's potentially having to bring up a lot of wounds in the process of potentially feeling like you damaged something. But I feel like this is why the message of the guides is coming through because they keep on saying to me, if you're working through something that you feel like you broke something by becoming yourself, that wasn't for you. If you feel like you broke something because you were becoming yourself and another person said choose yourself or me, you made the right energetic choice because healthy energy never puts us in the space where they're demanding the to be centered in order to facilitate a healthy partnership. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Julia. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very hard. It's very I was gonna say that's a very hard journey is what I keep on seeing because it's going through the pathwork of forgiveness. But the guides are saying like that you have to make sure that you're not forgiving things. Make sure you're not trying to forgive things that are not you're not supposed to be forgiving. Is what I keep on hearing. Thank you so much, dear. Just bear with me a moment. All right, and we got to 50K! Hooray! Okay, I am also so we've got. Let me see here. All right. Hannah, I was going to ask, are you okay if we push that reading to Monday? I'll definitely give you an additional card. I'm just running a little short on time right now, and I want to be mindful of making sure I can do the one cards. I didn't send the question. Wait, I didn't send the question again. Okay. I apologize. Interesting. That's happened twice. I also owe you an animal spirit guide card. Hold on, Kay. Ask me the question now, dear, if you're still here, and I'll draw the animal spirit guide card around it. Hold on a minute. Thank you for those gifts, witches. Okay, yeah, Schrodinger's cat. Yes. Would this be I don't think this is the current energy. This feels like something that you've been actively in a space of recovery for. Like I see that you're working through this and I keep on hearing like that. That's why the message from the guides was saying like so strongly, like you becoming yourself doesn't break things. It only breaks things that are not for you. That's what I call reciprocity. Beautifully said, Fur. Yes, no more. As a woman, we're able to follow our passions and dreams now, not sacrificing that. Tap to claim. I needed to hear that. Do you personal readings? The list is closed today, per Turtle, but if you'd like to get on for Monday, you'll be the second person read for. You're so welcome, Julia. Yes. Okay, question. I've been trying to reply to this person for weeks, but I feel completely blocked for some reason. Advice. Yeah, don't force it, is what I keep on seeing. I keep on hearing you're formulating, is what I keep on seeing. Like it says to me, you're not waiting, you're formulating a response or you're working through something in a way to identify and recognize. I don't know why. I feel like there's something they said that bothered you. You know what I mean? I don't know why I keep on seeing like something about being, I don't know, was it like, did it feel like something that was forward? You know, like I almost see you saying, I'm trying to form, like I almost see you saying I'm formulating a response to a question, you know? I don't know. It's interesting though, because I keep on seeing, um, I don't know why, like it feels like there's something like something's getting more intense or like working through an intensity point is what I keep on seeing. Like I almost feel like again, like you said, like seeing if that was like all to something is what I keep on getting. All right. Thank you for confirming. All right, let's continue right now. Hannah, as I mentioned, if it's okay if we could push that reading to Monday, please just let me know. In the meantime, we're going to start one card readings for subscribers. If you are a subscriber and would like a card pulled, go ahead and put your question in the comments. Oh, 50K too. I'll do the 50K giveaway and then we'll start the one cards. Thank you, Haley. I appreciate that. All right. I wasn't upset at them, but part of why I wasn't what of it wasn't what I was hoping for. That's what I like. Yeah, it's like it's working. It's like I see like waiting. Like it's giving me a little bit of like is that like you know what I mean? Like it's like almost like subject predicate was what I was saying. You're welcome. All right, I'm thinking of a number right now between one. I keep on hearing non sequiturs. I don't know why. Are they sending you non sequiturs? I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 43. First person I see that posts number will get the reading. First person I see, not the first person that posts it. Sometimes I see things in a different order than you guys post them. No, 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 no. Oh, I see it. 1 second. I see it. Hold on. Wait, 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 back up. Wait, back up. Wait, back, back. Hold on. I got to back it up. I saw it. Dallas, congratulations. You got the one card. All right, we'll do that again. That will be available. I mean, the 50K. That reading will be available when I'm back on Monday. Congratulations. We will do that again when we get to 100K. It was 7. All right, we're now doing yes. I just Googled it and that was a non sequitur. Thank you for clarity. Yeah, like again, a non sequitur, you're waiting for like what? You know, like waiting for more upon it. Hi, little bit. How are you doing today? That's so weird. That's so weird, Kay. All right, I got you, Julia. Highest priority, please. Yeah, I feel like I see that this is a lot of the work that you're doing in relationality. Like I said, some of that karmic wound that you're working to heal, which is the space by which you sometimes feel someone saying, like, you disappointed me. And like the proper answer is not like navigating another person's disappointment, but almost saying, like, what were you expecting? Is what I keep on seeing. Yeah, like I feel like you're doing that work on healing from the illusion of rejection to understand and amplify upon someone that wants, so I keep wondering, someone that no longer not only someone that not only cares about you, honors you, but they say they want the same things as you, right? That want to see you energetically succeed, instead of, like I keep on hearing, like being entirely focused or centered upon them. Animal spirit guide, please. Yeah, especially with the cow energy, right? I keep on hearing it's not selfish if it's reciprocal, and that's what's happening in that past life. If it's something that you would eagerly give another person, it's not too much to ask. It's the standard. All right. One moment, please. And thank you for the gifts as well, channeling. So good to see you today. Excellent. You're welcome, Dallas. All right. One card for Haley. Highest priority from guides, please. Make sure that you're prioritizing your, it's highest spirit's highest priority is to focus on, make sure that you're in a good place before you energetically help others. I feel like being able to articulate, I keep on hearing, yeah, everything you need to know in terms of relationship around you is how others appreciate you, right? And I keep on hearing like the space by which another person sees you already energetically inconvenient, not demanding more, but almost appreciating what you're putting towards something. Like, don't let that be something that makes you feel destabilized. Observe, don't absorb, is what I keep on seeing. Yeah, especially with the seal energy. Like it's talking towards the energy that appreciates the time that you put into things, doesn't, like I keep on hearing, doesn't get upset at you for not putting more of yourself into something. Like don't, I keep on hearing, don't let it be an activation, let it be a calibration. Weird things be happening. I'm in the blender like, whoa, Ava, I know that's the energy right now, Kay. Ava, 1 second, please. One message from divine counterpart. I feel like I see somebody who's never been this like in separation this long. I keep on hearing, like I feel like I see someone that's learning to get along on their own. I keep on seeing like this is a lot of the energy that's prior. I keep on hearing quality over quantity is what I keep on seeing. It's very austere. Yeah, they're very austere right now. You know, like I see them like making a lot of changes in their life and trying to be patient with themselves. You know, I almost feel like this is almost like someone adopting a new energetic practice or potentially coming into some kind of, yeah, the fox energy, seeing things in a different way. Like I keep on hearing them say weirdly spiritual, which is potentially, I almost feel like this is somebody who used to not believe in things who's like becoming weirdly spiritual. Like I keep on hearing them say weirdly spiritual, which is them being like they're adopting a spirituality, which is kind of weird for them. One card, highest priority, please, for Nikki. Um, I keep on seeing it's the same message that's coming through for you right now, which is not allowing the past to cloud the judgment of the present, which is again not allowing past information to inform exceptional energy, right? Like not allowing, like articulating upon, like talking about our fears, but not reacting to them, giving others the benefit of the doubt. I keep on hearing something like, "I'm going to pretend you didn't say that." Right? Like the space by which you, I keep wondering the space by which we care about one another is being, I keep wondering the space by which we care about each other is the space by which we say, I'm going to give you another chance to rephrase that, right? Like it's giving me a little bit of that energy of saying to someone, like, think carefully upon what you're saying. Do you really like, do you like, think like, you know what I mean? Like it's, it's almost like that's how we bring someone into a state of being energetically self-referential is I keep on here, especially if someone likes to say, "Oh, I was just saying how I feel," be like, you should think about how you feel because the things you say you can't energetically take back. Yeah, I feel like again, it's working through. I keep on hearing having no filter is not a gift because I keep on thinking things without filters wound, which is the space by which I keep on hearing we're supposed to have filters, right? Like I almost see someone being like, everybody's too sensitive. And I feel like you have to say to someone, we're supposed to be sensitive, right? That's what filters are for, is what I keep on seeing you having to say to someone, like almost like the ability, I keep on hearing no filter lacks empathy for how another person might receive something, is what I keep on hearing. May I have one card? Oh, yeah, of course, on your kitty, dear. You don't sound like a broken record. You got two cards coming through. You know, I feel like I see, like, I don't know if you've been away. I see someone getting used to it. Like, I feel like it's almost somebody getting used to the fact that you go away and come back. Like, I feel like they're finally starting to get it, is what I keep on seeing. Yeah, like, I feel like it's not having as much of an impact on them because I keep on hearing, like, the first time they're like, oh, they're gone forever. And now they're like, oh, no, this is just what happens. You know, I feel like it's almost like taking that and stretching it further. It's I keep on hearing like that's elastic work. Yeah, especially with the swan, right? Like someone that's getting stronger or finding confidence on being on their own is what I keep on seeing. That makes sense. Hi, Alexandra. Yes, I was waiting for you. I called you, but you weren't here. I'm running a little short on time, so I was going to see if it would be possible for us to move your reading to Monday. Could you just let me know? Today felt like a huge self-care day. I'm gonna lean into it. You're so welcome, Haley. All right. Hold on a minute. One card highest priority for Ella, please. Um, I keep on hearing um energy that has issues will directly speak towards what it is that one can do differently. I keep on hearing something that is a real problem is something that one can articulate a solution on. So don't let someone project something onto you. Like I keep on hearing fortifying conversations allow the ability of getting things done, especially with judgment in its reversal. Don't don't read into another person's choices. Ask questions is what I keep on hearing. Yeah, especially with the raven, right? I keep on seeing like we help each other by asking questions, right? Like asking questions is such of saying like, I wanted to ask this to see if that's something that you like took care of or something that you energetically checked, right? Thank you as well. You have a great day, Haley. Denise, one card highest priority, please. It's interesting. I feel called to give you these cards, even though there's a lot of them. Um, it's giving me the same vibration in terms of someone being like, I almost see you like working into the context of empathy. Like the gift we give someone is helping another person see how another person might feel about something. You know what I mean? Like space by which you articulate and give someone the benefit of the doubt is often the space by which you have empathy. And I keep on hearing there's something about understanding the difference between, I keep on hearing like you have to have a conversation potentially with someone and understanding that the entitlement is the space where we see someone making choices instead of operating out of a state of need. So I feel like that's almost like you having to help someone through that or understanding that in terms of them like I keep on hearing like someone's entitlement showing, which is someone being like, why are they choosing to do that? Being like your entitlement is showing in the fact that you think that there's a choice behind it, is what I keep on seeing. Animal spirit guide, yeah, crane, right? The observation we give in the difference between energetic choices, like the space by which we understand that entitlement is the space where we read choice into need. So helping someone have empathy, like that's a little bit of the gift that you're bringing to a situation. Hi there, Kant. I'm internally hurt and having difficulty focusing. Sending you so much support, sending you support, dear. Um, and I hope being here helps with that feeling. Maybe I'll meet them in the meditation retreat. Maybe you will, Ava. You're so welcome, dear. Totally, you're so welcome, Nikki. I have been away. She needed some adjustment. Oh, okay. I'm glad to hear things. I'm glad to hear things are. Like, I keep on hearing like they're getting used to something. Yep. Hold on a minute. No problem. Oh, I really appreciate that, Alexandra. And yes, you can absolutely get that one card. Um, this is giving me some kind of energy around you. Like it says, like it almost feels like someone who's like coming around. Like I keep on. It's like it's giving me like a little bit of this energy. That's like it's like I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's like if you don't want to talk to me anymore, why are you keep on checking on me? You know what I mean? Like it's giving me like it's like it's giving like someone who's like so nonchalant. That's like like it's like the energy that's like no thank you, but then they're like it's like the energy that says like no, but then they're leaning in to say like aren't you going to chase me? Like, aren't you gonna like, aren't you curious about where I've been? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's giving me a little bit of like, yeah, like the death card, and it's like it feels like somebody tried to cool themselves out of your existence, you know? Like animal spirit guide. We like Chalant. You know what I mean? Like little did they know you love Chalant. Chalant. You know, it's like this is like nonchalant. I'll never understand nonchalant energy, right? Nonchalant energy for someone who likes chalanting. Like the nonchalant will fly out the over the head, out the window, down the street 4 blocks. Because while they're busy nonchalanting, you're on the hunt for someone who's like very willing, ready, and able to chalant every day of the week. Absolutely. You're welcome, dear. You're so welcome, Ella. Interesting. Yes, thank you. You're so welcome, Denise. Yes, we're doing one cards, Bridget. You got two coming. Two cards on love, please, for Per. Oh my God, it's the same person from yesterday. No, the fire. Like that's the thing. Like that's the thing about it. Being like, like it's like it's saying to me like somebody being like, "Aren't you intrigued?" Being like, "I'm not intrigued. I'm bored." Nonchalant is boring to someone who's like, please chalant me. All right, where are we going here for Bridget? Yeah, I feel like this is I feel like everything I keep on seeing something about your counterpart that's just like working in terms of like trying to build into new habits. Like I feel like there's something I keep on seeing that remember when I said it's like the energy that takes them for granted is the energy that like feels that they're always around all the time. So I see like this energy that's like doing a lot of the work of being like, if you don't make plans with me, we don't have plans. Right. Like it's doing the work of them trying to hold priority. And I almost feel some energy that like feels like they're being mean in that process. Right. And I can see the energy like working through that and being like, it's not mean to be prioritizing myself. Yeah, death card in its reversal. Like I almost feel like somebody's considering a move or something because that's what I mean. Like it almost feels to me like they're trying to heal from energy that sees them as some kind of like emotional convenience. Yeah, the hawk, right? Like it's giving me a lot of this like person having conversations, having to have hard conversations. And like I keep on hearing like hard look conversations, which is like look at yourself, like look at the position you put me in. Like I feel like it's like them having to go through some process of saying, I have feelings too. Yes. I need excitement, not ice. Have to claim. I've got you, Grace. You're welcome, Bridget. Um, the world card in its reversal. Don't one thing at a time. Everything will get done. Just prioritize. I keep on hearing set the list, focus on the list, write down the list, and just knock out those energetic milestones, right? Bottom of the deck, yeah, right? When you feel overwhelmed, write it down. Let the plan guide you, right? Don't get overwhelmed at the work. If it feels too big, break it down into smaller pieces. All right, my friends, we've reached the conclusion of our reads today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving them. I will be back. I will be off tomorrow. I will be off tomorrow and the following day. I'm back on Monday. If you became a subscriber today, welcome. I would encourage you to head over to a subscriber-only Disco channel, introduce yourself to the collective. You'll also find in the perk section a special coupon code that will give you an additional discount to our tarot class subscription program. Our next class will be held on Thursday, September 18th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be focusing our studies on the tarot of the focus on the star card. I want to thank you guys. If you want to get on the list today for the readings on Monday, you can do so. You'll also have an additional card in your reading. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. Huge thank you to my followers, old and new. Thank you for being here and sharing in these messages. Huge thank you to my subscribers. Your ongoing support means the absolute world to me. And the biggest thank you to my mods. Thank you so much, Kay Megan, for all of your help today. I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of one another. And we'll do this again on Monday. Have a great day, everyone.